The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
नमस्कार एंड गुड इवनिंग दोस्तों। आज हम यहाँ पे एक सिंपल सवाल का जवाब ढूंढने आए हैं। लाइक व्हाट इज़ अ वेल्थ क्रिएशन, और वेल्थ क्रिएशन से कैसे रिटर्न होता है या कुछ और भी चाहिए रहता है। सो वेलकम टू द पावर पैनल ऑन बियॉन्ड रिटर्न्स, जहाँ हम आज करेंगे अल्टरनेट इन्वेस्टमेंट फंड के बारे में बात कि कैसे इन्वेस्टमेंट गेम को एक नई डायरेक्शन देने वाले हैं। सो यहाँ आज आपको मिलेंगे रियल वर्ल्ड इंसाइट्स, स्ट्रेटेजिक फ्रेमवर्क्स और सारे सीक्रेट जो नॉर्मली जस्ट टॉकिंग पॉइंट होते हैं इन ओनली इन बोर्ड रूम काइंड ऑफ थिंग। सो आज यहाँ पे शेयर करेंगे वेदर यू आर अ फाइनेंस प्रोफेशनल और अस्पायरिंग फंड मैनेजर, ये सेशन आपके लिए एक बूस्टर डोज होने वाला है। So we welcome all the panelists, CA Rahul Bhai, CA Jitesh Bhai, and Nimish Bhai, and our superstar CA Vikash Jain, who is always available for the profession and very helpful, and our dear friend as well. So let me start with Vikas Bhai. Vikas Bhai has headed one of the largest branch in our ICAI as an chairperson of the branch, and also served the multiple terms there, and also a regional council member in largest accounting body and largest region, WIRC. In both the terms, sir has got the highest voting through the members. So this itself is telling that the popularity, the expertise, and the bonding with the members of Vikas Bhai. And sir is today's moderator who will lead the entire conversation. We are very thankful to Vikas Bhai for joining today, giving your time, sharing your valuable insights, knowledge on this very expertise topic, specialized। सी जितेश भाई कोठारी, आप लोगों ने ऑब्वियसली पढ़ा ही होगा जितेश भाई के बारे में। हु इज अ सेबी रजिस्टर्ड एनालिस्ट, who is a market trainer and a co-founder of Sunrise India Growth Fund, and also sir has trained more than 15,000 plus professional in Techno-Funda strategies, which is very rare, I would like to say, and very specialized. Rahul Maliwal sir, a dynamic equity strategist, educator. Sir is known for his expertise in behavior and value investing, empowering investor to think beyond the numbers. So we welcome Rahul Bhai. Thank you so much. And also Nimish Maheshwari, who is a seasonal AIF fund manager, multi-asset investment structuring expert. Sir has also founded the Beat the Street, who is engaged more than 1 lakh investment followers. सो लेट मी टेल यू एवरीवन, मेरा एक सौभाग्य मिला था लास्ट ईयर अगस्त 2025 में इन WRC's रीजनल कॉन्फ्रेंस। आई हैव गॉट द अपॉर्चुनिटी टू शेयर द स्टेज विद निमिश महेश्वरी जी, not on AIF topic but on social media. So it's my proud pleasure and all the good memories with him as well. So with this brief introduction of everyone, I would like to request Vikas Bhai to take the proceeding ahead for our today's session. Over to you, Vikas Bhai.
So first of all, thank you, Virag Bhai. Virag Bhai has always been so active, energetic, and has created a great platform, I would say, which always helps all the professionals, including me, you, and all others, to learn lot many new things. And he have been curating out of the box programs, and with another such out of the box program, we have been hearing that a lot of buzz is going around in AI across the country, and especially after Gift City, it has taken or it has gained a great pace, I would say. Lot many professionals, they always wants to know about AIF, what is AIF, how it works, what is the benefit of having AIF. There are n number of questions that keeps on coming. So I have created few of the questions which I keep on receiving from the members generally. Apart from that, I would also urge all the members who are attending today that yes, I know all the speakers, they are so humble and they are always ready to help. So whatever questions that we would be having, we can always raise those questions to them, and we'll get our answers for sure. Uh, as Virag bhai rightly said, that we are having a great dynamic panel with us today. Like Jitesh bhai, he has trained so many professionals on this program, on this particular topic or equity and all these things. Rahul bhai is he's also a all India rank 1 chartered accountant, so that itself shows his ability to deal with the subject. Nimish bhai, उनका तो कहना ही क्या है? Everybody knows him. Whenever we say Nimish bhai, so people would say, "वो beat the street वाले." So we say, "Yes, yes, वही Nimish bhai." So so we are having a galaxy of great speakers with us, I would say, today. And friends, uh, uh, all these gentlemen I know very well for quite a long time. और हम लोगों की जब बात होती है on equity, we used to discuss uh, that whether investing in equity is a art or a science. And I'll start with Rahul bhai, because we discuss a lot on this. What happens, and this is a kind of like क्या कहते हैं इसको, everybody would be facing in his life कि यार अफसोस बहुत रहता है शेयर बाजार के अंदर. This is a game of अफसोस. Whenever we sell something, then that runs like anything. कुछ माल बेचो और वो भागता है. And when we buy something, then the price drops down. ओके, बहुत टाइम तक हम 3-3 साल स्टॉक को होल्ड करते हैं, लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टर बनते हैं, फिर उसको बेचते हैं कि हाँ अब हमारा भाव आ गया, हम उसको बेच देते हैं. लेकिन 3 साल में जो कुछ नहीं हुआ, वो पिछले नेक्स्ट 3 महीने के अंदर वो बढ़ जाता है. तो राहुल भाई, व्हाट इज योर टेक ऑन दिस, वेदर investing is an art or a science or a mix of both?
First of all, thank you Virag bhai for giving us the opportunity to discuss with the topic of the equity market, which is very close to our heart. And thank you sir for moderating this particular session. So the question is very good, whether the equity is the art or the science. Okay, and sometimes people even ask ki in case of the equity analysis you have to be very very good in the number crunching and everything. So sir, मेरा ऐसा मानना है, I always believe that equity investing is more on the behavioral part. जो हमारा session है, that is the wealth creation through the AIFs. So but before going to the AIF, if we consider for the wealth creation itself, so the wealth creation जो है वो behavioral is more on part of the behavioral rather than understanding the economics of the business, because 60 to 65% is your behavior that count on the wealth and wealth creation. So जैसा भी आपने बताया कि in case the if you buy something वो गिर जाता है, जब सेल करते हैं उसके बाद में बढ़ जाता है, so why it happens, और इसका क्या मतलब उसके पीछे क्या होता है. So sir, there and the same time it may happens कि क्या होता है, बहुत सारे लोग वो रहते हैं कि भाई मैंने 500 रुपीज पे ये शेयर परचेज किया था, now the price is 300 रुपीज, अब मैं वापस से 500 आएगा तो ही बेच पाऊंगा, उसके बाद में 500 आता नहीं है, तो then wait and wait चलता है. So it is said in there is a concept of sunk cost fallacy in the equity investing. Sunk cost means जो हमने पहले भी हमारे सीए में या कहीं पे भी पहले कॉस्टिंग में पढ़ते थे हम, is sunk cost. Whatever the expenditure you have done, it is already being done. So whatever price you have paid, 500 rupees, अब उसको benchmark करके अगर हम अपना share price follow करते हैं, then we generally focused on that particular price कि 500 rupees. That is also linked to the another bias which is called anchoring bias, कि हम 500 रुपए पे फोकस करना चालू कर देते हैं और हम हमारा जो ब्रॉड लॉजिक है बिजनेस का, वैल्यूएशंस का, वो भूल जाते हैं. सेकंड चीज वेल्थ क्रिएशन के अंदर जो आता है, दैट इज द पार्ट ऑफ द सोशल कोहेरेंस जो हम बोल रहे हैं. जैसे सर ने बताया कि व्हाई इट हैपेंस कि किसी ने 500 में लिया होगा, उसने 800 में एग्जिट मार लिया होगा, वो 300 रुपीज कमा के निकल गया होगा, लेकिन वी आर स्टिल फाइंडिंग कि नहीं हमको 1000 मेरा, क्योंकि मेरी बाइंग प्राइस 1000 थी, तो अब वो 1000 नहीं आया, फिर से रिवर्स हो गया. सो देयर इज अ कंसेप्ट ऑफ द सोशल कोहेरेंस, और वो ह्यूमन के अंदर होता ही है कि व्हेनेवर ह्यूमंस जो होते हैं वो लॉजिकली एक दूसरे से कनेक्ट होना ज्यादा पसंद करते हैं. इफ आई एम फॉर एग्जांपल मेरे पास रिलायंस का शेयर होगा, तो मैं वो उस तरह से लोगों से कनेक्ट करना पसंद करूंगा जिसके पास भी रिलायंस का शेयर होगा. आई विल आस्क देम कि हाँ विकास भाई, यू आर ऑल्सो होल्डिंग रिलायंस, ओके, तो इसमें क्या स्टोरी है, इसमें क्या होने वाला है, इसमें फ्यूचर क्या होगा. सो दैट इज द लॉजिक. बट जनरली होना क्या चाहिए, इसका अपोजिट. इन केस ऑफ द इक्विटी मार्केट यू हैव टू बी सोशली कॉन्ट्रेरियन. जब दूसरे नहीं कर रहे हैं, अगर आप वो करोगे तो ही आपका पैसा बन पाएगा. सो दैट इज व्हाई आई वुड से इन्वेस्टिंग इज एन आर्ट, इट इज एन आर्ट रादर देन अ साइंस. बिकॉज साइंस के अंदर तो क्या होता है कि आपके पास बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस भी होते हैं, और इवन आई विल से कि इन्वेस्टिंग का जो कंसेप्ट है सर, वो एक टेल इवेंट की तरह जाता है। टेल इवेंट मीन्स आप साइंस का अगर कोई भी ऑप्शन हुआ या फिर आपका परफेक्शन का हुआ, जैसे अगर आप डॉक्टर है तो आपको 10 सर्जरी में से ऑल 10 आपको करेक्ट करनी पड़ेगी। आपके पास ऐसी लिबर्टी नहीं है कि 2 अगर आपने गलत कर दी तो भी चलेगा। अगर आप सेम वे अगर आप पायलट हैं तो सारे टाइम्स आपको एक्यूरेसी से फ्लाई करना पड़ेगा। बट इन्वेस्टिंग एक इस तरह का आर्ट है जहां पे यू हैव द लिबर्टी टू फेल। अगर आपने 10 इन्वेस्टमेंट किए हैं, उसमें से 6 सक्सेसफुल हुए, 4 नहीं भी चले, देन ऑल्सो यू मेक अ टन्स ऑफ मनी। तो investing according to me is more on the psychology, and it is an art rather than a science.
So very well said, Rahul bhai. मुझे लगता है कि साइकोलॉजी ऑफ मनी, दैट बुक एवरीबडी मस्ट रीड, बिकॉज
Wonderful
इट
book.
स्पीक्स इट स्पीक्स अ लॉट अबाउट दैट। एंड राहुल भाई की ये खासियत भी है कि वो हमेशा, हम लोग जब भी कहीं जा रहे होते हैं, अगर साथ हो गए गलती से भी, he keeps on reading. He will not waste a single minute. He'll always keep on reading. He'll just pull the book out of the bag and then अंडरलाइन करेंगे, पढ़ेंगे, लिखेंगे, और फिर हम सब लोगों के बेनिफिट के लिए उसको शेयर करेंगे। सो थैंक यू राहुल भाई फॉर दिस। नाउ Jitesh bhai, as we all know that you are a master of the charts, you always deal with the technicals. So my question to you is whether investing, this is a full time thing or a part time thing. हम लोग खाली एक बार किसी ने बोल दिया और हम लोगों ने ले लिया, इज दैट काइंड ऑफ पार्ट टाइम एक्टिविटी, या एक बार उस टाइम देख लिया कोई स्टॉक को, और वी शुड कीप ऑन कॉन्स्टेंटली रिव्यूइंग दोज थिंग्स कि क्या वो कौन से जोन में चल रहा है, वो कौन से चार्ट में वो कहाँ पे अभी क्या है, वो रेजिस्टेंस पे है, सपोर्ट पे है, या ये सब चीजें हैं। हाउ वी कैन मेक, I believe that by following these patterns and charts and all these things, we can always maximize our return and having can gain more conviction. So your take on this, Jitesh bhai?
Yes, so basically to answer what you asked, sir, first of all, I would like to thank Virag bhai and for organizing this, and Vikas bhai for moderating the amazing topic. So yeah, I believe applying technicals along with fundamentals is most important. Many people who follow technicals, they are like, if you are following technical, you don't need fundamentals. So I strongly don't believe on that, because what happens is, in the times of uncertainties जो अभी टाइम चल रहा है, like कभी कोई टैरिफ की न्यूज आती है, कभी कुछ होता है, ठीक है, सो एट दैट टाइम ये इनहेरेंट लिमिटेशंस है टेक्निकल एनालिसिस की, कि in the event of any global uncertainties, the accuracy of chart reduces to a great extent. Okay, and then at that time you will be only able to hold such companies which you have read very well, and which you are aware about, what they are doing, what which sector it is into, whether it is into tailwind or headwind, or how is the management, how was the con call, and all those roadmaps you need to be aware. But at the same time, what I believe is there have been fantastic companies which has given amazing returns in the past, but before giving such returns, they have been into a consolidation phase or maybe into a downtrend for 3 4 5 years. सो बेसिकली एक कहते हैं ना, जो फेमस कहावत है कि भाई एक एक जो बैंक का ब्याज होता है, ठीक है, कोई भी आदमी सोचता है कि कम से कम मेरा वो तो बीट होना चाहिए, एंड इफ दैट डजंट हैपन, राइट, so for 3 4 years, if that doesn't happen, then you are not only losing that interest portion which you could have parked easily into a non-volatile asset, but also you are losing a lot of opportunity cost, because what happens is you again at that time you get to listen from your friends, from your colleagues, that they invested into this company and now it has become 5 times, now it has become 10 times, and then you realize and you check your portfolio that you had invested in a very good fundamental company having good projections and future plans, but it has not even given you positive returns. So what I feel is combining both fundamentals and technicals is of utmost importance, and investing is a full-time activity, as the great investor, no, not the great investor, as the great the scientist Albert Einstein has said that compounding is the eighth wonder, right? So anything which is a wonder, which has been said by a scientist himself, who himself lost a lot of money in the crash of 1929, if I'm not wrong. सो अगर वो बंदा भी ये बोल रहा है, ठीक है, कि ये एट्थ वंडर है, तो कोई भी वंडरफुल चीज करने के लिए मेरा ये मानना है कि आपका फुल टाइम डिवोशन बहुत जरूरी है, ठीक है. I keep on meeting a lot of people. I have been discussing with many people about their CAGR returns, and I would not be, I would be surprised to share with you that at least 95% of the people are not able to generate CAGR of more than 20% on a year to year basis. So as per my discussion with a lot of people, I have observed this. And then people expect to generate two times, three times returns by just putting half an hour, 15 minutes, or maybe devoting 1 hour in a month or so. I feel this is a big journey, a multiplier journey, and which needs a constant expertise, constant monitoring, not just in the terms of fundamentals, but also with respect to the behavioral part, with respect to understanding of the industry as well, and which should be done via professional route, like in AIFs there are fund managers who are devotedly doing that. In mutual funds there are fund managers. So such places are, I feel, if you want to create a long term story, success story, wealth generation, so that is must, I feel.
Thank you, Jitesh bhai, for the wonderful insights. Now I would be
सर
turning to
मैं
our.
इसमें
हाँ,
मैं
yeah,
इसमें एक
please.
और बात ऐड करूंगा, जो जितेश भाई ने अभी बोला है कि सो दैट आई वुड से कि व्हाई इट इज द फुल टाइम जॉब, बिकॉज वी आर इन द बिजनेस ऑफ रिस्क मैनेजमेंट, रिटर्न्स आर ऑलवेज द बाई प्रोडक्ट. तो अगर आप रिस्क को मिटिगेट कर लेंगे ना तो रिटर्न्स तो ऑटोमेटिक बन जाएंगे. एंड इंडिविजुअल इन्वेस्टर्स होता है कि या कोई भी हुआ तो दे डू नॉट हैव द कैपेबिलिटी, और इधर हैव द कैपेबिलिटी बट दे डू नॉट हैव द सो मच टाइम कि वो फंडामेंटल के साथ में टेक्निकल्स को भी मिक्स करें, बिकॉज टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट्स आर ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तो जनरली क्या होता है, अगर डाउनफॉल होगा और यू विल नॉट गेट द एग्जिट टाइम्स, अगर आपने एग्जिट नहीं लिया तो आपका रिस्क बढ़ जाएगा टू गो फॉर द नेगेटिव रिटर्न्स. सो टेक्निकल पार्ट को फंडामेंटल के साथ मिक्स करके करना, दिस इज ऑलवेज अ फुल टाइम जॉब, इट कैन नॉट बी अ पार्ट टाइम जॉब. रिस्क मिटिगेशन इज द टॉप प्रायोरिटी फॉर द एनी इन्वेस्टर. रिटर्न्स अगर आपने रिस्क मिटिगेट कर ली तो यू विल नॉट एबल, मतलब आपका रिटर्न्स बनने से कोई नहीं रोक सकता है.
Very well said, Rahul bhai. Risk is what is to be mitigated. Returns are byproduct. And well said, Jitesh bhai. Compounding, the eighth wonder. Slow and steady win the race. The initial returns may be slower one, but yes, the power of compounding, we all know it has a magical capabilities. I would say a small 18% return can multiply your money in 4 years. It can be doubled. The rule of 72. Okay. So now let us turn to our young and dynamic panelist, Nimish bhai. He is also a fund manager in Sunrise India Growth Fund, and is also having the channel Beat the Street. Nimish bhai, you have been covering, I have been following your channel since long. You have been covering a lot of things, right from economy, geopolitics, forensics, investigations, and all these things into companies. So how important do you think that these things should be looked into? Because what I believe, capital market or cannot, the companies cannot only thrive when the company is good, but the surrounding things like economy and all other things, the political will support, so many other things which are there, the quality of management. Okay, all these things are very important. So what your focus used to be while investing in view of all these things?
Thank you so much, Virag Bhai, first of all, for giving us the opportunity, and Vikas Bhai for moderating this session. For your question, sir, my answer would be, as I am the fund manager, so what is our job is mostly on the risk management. As Rahul Bhai rightly said, we are into the business of risk management. We are not into the business of generating returns and returns. If you are able to, manage risk properly, your returns are your byproducts. So first of all, whenever I study a company, or whenever we analyze any company, whether it is a listed or unlisted or any other company, our first priority is, so we follow a approach, and we follow a framework that uh, we should be into the business where there is a tailwind. So we follow a TMV approach while we invest. So what you are saying कि यार कोई भी कंपनी है उसका जियोपॉलिटिकल, इकोनॉमिकल, उसका क्या एंगल है। तो सबसे पहले होना चाहिए कि यार टेलविंड है या नहीं है जिस कंपनी में हम इन्वेस्ट करने वाले हैं, एनी कंपनी। So any company where we are planning to invest or we are thinking or we are analyzing, we should follow this approach, जहां पर सबसे पहले we need to understand the overall surrounding, overall economy, overall push. Like अगर हम देखें पिछले 3-4 साल से after 2020, government is quite focused on the defense side. There are lot of push on the domestic manufacturing of the defense product. Lot of opportunities are available. Lot of companies are coming up with the IPO in the defense side, as well as there is enough push from the government. Similar thing we can see in the shipbuilding also. Shipbuilding also, the government is quite pushing. Currently, the market size is 1.4, 1.5 billion dollar, but the government is pushing too hard that they are estimating, and the industry's reports are estimating that it will be an $8 billion opportunity by 2030. So first, we need to understand in any company where we are investing, is there any opportunity, is there any a big tailwind which is available? अगर वो ऐसा कोई भी सेगमेंट अवेलेबल होता है तो आप कोई भी कंपनी में, उस पूरे सेक्टर में कोई भी कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, सो इट विल गिव यू अ बिग हेडरूम टुवर्ड्स ग्रोथ। क्योंकि क्या होगा कि अगर पूरा सेक्टर 25% से 20%, 30% से ग्रो कर रहा है, एंड अगर आपकी कंपनी, इफ यू आर इनटू राइट सेक्टर, इफ यू आर इनटू अ राइट कंपनी और यू आर इनटू विद द राइट मैनेजमेंट, देन द रिटर्न्स विल बी द बाई प्रोडक्ट, बिकॉज पैसा तो आना ही है। क्योंकि यार अगर ऑर्डर्स मिल रहे हैं डिफेंस में, अगर कंपनी, अगर गवर्नमेंट पुश कर रही है, ऑर्डर्स मिल रहे हैं, अगर आपकी कंपनी सही काम करती है एंड मैनेजमेंट इज राइट इन टर्म्स ऑफ गवर्नेंस, in terms of execution, then automatically your numbers will come. So we always follow कि यार first of all your investment process will be कि यार आपका एक approach होना चाहिए, and it can be qualitative, it can be quantitative, or it can be both. So we always follow कि यार पहले सबसे पहला जो है वो हमारा है qualitative aspect, which is overall what overall economical or what overall geographical sector, what they are saying. Like अगर हम currently अगर हम बात करें तो even government is pushing towards geospatial. So we are also planning to invest in these kind of industry or in kind of companies where there is a वो companies हैं जो उस तरीके के products में और उस तरीके की services provide कर रही है. So we also follow this. Then that comes to the management. So second thing is management is, अगर आपका management, if they are able to execute or they are able to capitalize the opportunity which is available in the tailwind sector, so you are able to get the orders, you are able to get the things done. अगर management सही नहीं है, चाहे वो गवर्नेंस साइड में ले लो, चाहे आपका बोर्ड रूम बैटल ले लो, चाहे आप डिस्प्यूट, अगर आप मान लो कि यार मैनेजमेंट में आपके 5 लोग हैं बट देयर इज अ कंटिन्यूअस डिस्प्यूट्स गोइंग ऑन अर्लियर आल्सो और अभी, सो वी नीड टू ट्रैक द पास्ट रिकॉर्ड ऑफ द मैनेजमेंट एज वेल एज द फ्यूचर, हाउ दे आर प्लानिंग टू डिलीवर द अपकमिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज. So second thing what we follow is the management. And third thing is valuation, which is quantitative. So valuation, why it is very important and why we follow in this approach is because अगर आप सही वैल्यूएशन पर नहीं घुसे तो जो जैसा जितेश भाई ने बताया कि यार बहुत बार क्या होता है कि हम इन्वेस्ट तो कर देते हैं, हम पैसा भी लगा देते हैं, बट हम बहुत टाइम तक उस पे एक ही प्राइस पे बैठे रह जाते हैं. जैसे अगर आप देखेंगे कि एसी वाली कंपनीज की अगर हम बात करें, पिछले 2 सालों से 3 सालों से हमारा ईएमएस सेक्टर, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर में काफी बूम था और काफी अच्छी ऑर्डर बुक्स थी, काफी अच्छा एग्जीक्यूशन चल रहा था. बट द प्रॉब्लम विद दीज कंपनीज इज they are at a very high PE, they are at a very high valuation. So जब कोई भी सेक्टर एक बहुत ही अच्छे, बहुत हाई वैल्यूएशन पे होता है तो मैनेजमेंट कितना ही अच्छा हो, टेलविंड सेक्टर में कितना ही हो, बट अगर आपका एक क्वार्टर या 1 या 2 क्वार्टर में आपका एग्जीक्यूशन नहीं आ पाया, देन इट विल बी अ चैलेंज. सो वैल्यूएशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि अगर आप एक फेयर वैल्यूएशन पे घुसे हुए हो कंपनी में, देन यू आर एबल टू जनरेट अ गुड रिटर्न्स. तो अगर मान लीजिए कि यार आप 10 या 15 के मल्टीपल पे आज आप एंट्री लेते हैं कोई भी कंपनी में जो ईएमएस सेक्टर में है, एंड इफ यू आर एबल टू रीरेट, बिकॉज क्या है कि अगर पूरे सेक्टर में टेलविंड है तो मार्केट विल रीरेट दैट कंपनी, एंड आप एक क्वांटिटेटिव एस्पेक्ट रख सकते हैं कि यार मुझे लगता है कि यार ये कंपनी में यार 30% या 40% की ग्रोथ आएगी, and we do not think कि यार यहाँ से 40x या 50x से ज़्यादा multiple इसका होना चाहिए, then you also need to take a decision to exit, because you know sometimes what happens is कि हम उसको लेके और उसका exit का decision सही time पे नहीं बना पाते, and it will hamper your growth in terms of returns. So we follow this approach so that it will help in terms of decision making, in terms of approaching the right set of companies, as well as in terms of getting good returns. So this is from my side ki what we think when we analyze the companies.
Thank you, Nimish bhai. So we had a great insight on what you look for when you are investing in any company, and especially when being a fund manager, the size of investment also is a bigger one, I would say. A retail investor may be investing 5, 10, 15 lakh rupees, but while the investment is being made by the fund managers for an AIF, then it may be into crores. So we need to be doubly sure, I would say. So my next question, whosoever of you would like to answer. So what are the different, so since the tone has already been set for today's program, now I'd like to ask you more and more questions on AIF, I would say. So my first question is, what are the different types of AIFs that are available?
Sir, there are n number of AIFs are available. So category wise, if we can broadly bifurcate, then there are three types of category: category 1, category 2, and category 3. Every category has their own uses on requirement. So if you are into the, for example, if you are into the early stage of investing, if you are into the VC funds, if you are into the startups funds, then generally category 1 and category 2 is more preferable. If it is into the stress asset, if the AIF is like to the real estates or rates, then category 2 is preferable, where you are not supposed to take any of the long term borrowings, or if you are just making the investments, तो वहाँ पे category 1 category 2 प्रेफरेबल होता है. कैटेगरी 3 इज मोर प्रेफरेबल व्हेन यू हैव द लॉन्ग शॉट, यानी आपको लॉन्ग शॉट करना है, इन केस इफ यू वांट टू टेक द बेनिफिट ऑफ लिवरेज करना है, आपको लिस्टेड के अंदर स्पेस में मेजरली आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है. सो वहां पे कैटेगरी 3 रहता है. जो कैटेगरी 3 इज मोर फ्लेक्सिबल एंड दैट इज मोर ओपन एंडेड, और कैटेगरी 1-2 में जनरली क्लोज एंडेड होती है, और वहां पे जो इन्वेस्टमेंट होते हैं दे आर मोर इनटू द स्क्यूड टुवर्ड्स द अर्ली स्टेज इन्वेस्टिंग.
Okay. So ये
So जैसा
category 3 है. Futures and options can also be done in category 3.
yes sir.
In category 3, it can
It
be
can
done.
be.
In
It
three,
can be done in category. Okay.
Yes.
So are there any specific restriction on category 1 or category 2 funds which a category 3 fund can do, but category 1 or category 2 funds can't do?
So the biggest the biggest difference between category 1 and category 2 is the use of leverage. So category 3 can use the leverage of 2x of their NAV. So whatever their net asset value is, they can use 2x leverage. And even if you want to be a hedge fund, or if you want to do FNO or future and option, and want to do long short, what Rahul bhai said, so category 3 will be preferable. For category 1 and 2, there is no option of leverage which is available. Category 1 is more focused on the SME, startup, or VC side, where the companies are just we are just providing them growth capital, where there is a growth can be like 50x, 2x, 3x, 4x kind of growth. So we need to provide where we are providing the growth capital. For category 2, we are more on the private equity side, where 50% of your money can be invested in listed space, 50% of your, and you can decide whatever you want to do. But category 2 is where what category 1 and category 3 cannot do. So category 2 cannot use leverage. So category 2 is generally used by the companies which is into private equity, where they are into real estate. And one surprising thing is the biggest sector where the AIFs are investing is real estate. So 70,000 crores worth of investment is made in FY25 in real estate sector. So category 2 is the most preferred और अभी सबसे ज़्यादा जहाँ पर investment किया गया है is the category 2, and category 3 is more used in for the listed space. Anybody who is interested more into the listed space और जहाँ पर उनको hedge fund बनाना है या जिनको जिनको category 1 plus category 3 मतलब listed space के साथ साथ unlisted space का भी यूज करना है, so they generally prefer category 3 which is more open ended, जहां पर आप इन्वेस्टमेंट ओपन एंडेडली कर सकते हैं. कैटेगरी 1 और कैटेगरी 2 में सबसे बड़ा रिस्ट्रिक्शन है कि वो क्लोज एंडेड है और वहां पर टाइम रिस्ट्रिक्शन है कि यार आपको मिनिमम लॉक इन के साथ आपको फंड ओपन करना पड़ता है. बट कैटेगरी 3 इज मोर ओपन एंडेड. सो आपने इन्वेस्ट किया, आपने मान लीजिए कि आपको 6 महीने में पैसा वापस निकालना है, सो यू कैन पुल दैट मनी आउट ऑल्सो. सो दैट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन, that is the major difference between these categories.
So open-ended and close-ended. Yeah, please.
I would like to add a couple of things to what Nimish Bhai said, has correctly mentioned. But there are some strong advantages also of Cat 1 fund. So first of all, the major advantage which I feel is the lock-in period, which in the category 1 fund starts from the date of investment instead of from the date of listing. So as the Cat 1 fund conveyed by Rahul Bhai is majorly in initial stage funding, right? Initial stage investments or pre-IPOs majorly these kind of funds are doing. So what happens is if you have invested around a year back at X valuation, and there are strong chances that whenever any pre-IPO is done, it is done at a very negotiated or a very comfortable this thing, I would say multiples of earnings and whatever parameters that particular industry has. So in that case, the biggest advantage is whenever the IPO comes and if you want to exit on the very first day, that also you can do in category 1, which is not possible in the case of Cat 3 fund. So this is one advantage. And also one thing is, since this fund enjoys the benefit of a pass-through structure, Cat 1 and Cat 2 both, जो टैक्सेशन लाइबिलिटी जो होती है वो मेजरली इंडिविजुअल के हैंड्स में आती है इंस्टेड ऑफ द फंड लेवल. सो व्हाट हैपेंस मेनी टाइम्स इज इफ इट इज एट द फंड लेवल, तो जो सरचार्ज होता है वो सरचार्ज 100% फंड पे मैक्सिमम रेट पे आने ही वाला है. बट इन द केस ऑफ इंडिविजुअल इट मे और इट मे नॉट, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन हिज दिस इनकम. So that is also one of the advantage which category 1 and 2 funds enjoy.
So broadly we understood the differences between Cat 1, Cat 2 and Cat 3, and the one great advantage that you shared with us is category 1 and category 2, these funds enjoy or having the privilege of the lock-in period being starting from the date of investment and not from the date of listing. So that 1 and 2, these categories enjoy this particular benefit. Another thing is tax. You shared that being passed through entity, surcharge would not be generally leviable. Generally, I don't say that it won't be leviable, but generally won't be leviable, because in case of fund, for sure, if it is a 100 crore fund, the amount is going to be big, the return is going to be big, and surcharge is something which is inevitable. So that is another advantage. So one more thing that I would like to know, is there any restriction or cap on investing in the main board listed companies for this category 1 or 2? Can all these, irrespective of anything, entire 100 rupees corpus if they are having, they can invest into main board companies or SME companies, or there is any such kind of classification or differentiation or restriction? So please.
So thing is that, sir, in case of the category 1 fund, because the basic idea of having the category 1 and category 2 is that the more early stage of the investment, so that to provide the growth capital to the company. So the SEBI has provided that in case of the category 1 fund, the maximum investment that can be made in listed, that is the main board listed companies, are the up to 25%. We cannot go beyond 25%. 100% that can be invested in the unlisted as well as the SME companies, but maximum amount that can be invested in any of the listed company, that is main board listed company, will be up to 25% of your total corpus amount. In case if it is the category 2 fund, then this amount is up to 49% of your total corpus you can able to invest into the main board listed companies. So one more thing, in case if we are taking any company, if you are buying any company under the pre-IPO, that means before the IPO in the unlisted segment, you are buying that particular company, and if it lists out at the main board, then also you will be considered to be purchased under the 75% criteria, that it will be continue to enjoy the benefit of the unlisted. But if you have purchased as an anchor means when you are buying the company at the time of IPO, and if it is the main board, then it will be counted under the main board category.
So put it simpler. So whenever we are going through the anchor route, since the shares are being bought at the time of listing, so we will not be having the advantage of getting that limit or ceiling. So it would always be treated as a listed company shares only. But when we are investing at the pre-IPO stage, okay, or in the unlisted stage, I would say, then that will not be treated as a part of the overall ceiling, and that will continue to enjoy the status of unlisted even after getting listed. Am I right, Rahul bhai?
Yes, yes.
So one more thing
Yes.
I want to add here is that many people don't know about category 1 benefits, because this is not like you need to invest 75% in the unlisted space only. You can invest 100% of your money in the SME listed space also. So if there is any opportunity जो जिनका भी IPO आया है, but the prices are at or prices and valuations are at such level, so a category 1 fund can also invest in the listed space 100% of amount in the listed SME space without restriction. You can sell also.
Yes. So the valuation, if these are attractive, what Nimish bhai is saying, and especially in such market conditions where the SMEs are the most vulnerable, I would say, because the large caps and all these are lesser vulnerable, but the small caps and mid caps are more vulnerable. And if these are from the SME sectors, we might get the things at very attractive valuations. And if somebody wants to take use of that AIF, yes, certainly this is the right time, and those investments can be done uh, in the 100% into SMEs. May it be category 1 or may it be category 2 and category 3, so obviously they can do anything whatever they want within the framework.
Yes.
Great.
Sir, there is one more difference that we have not considered in
Mhm.
category 1, 2, and 3. So, category 1 or 2 that can invest up to 25% of their corpus in a single company.
Okay.
They can go for invest. For example, if your corpus is 100 crore, then you can even bet for 25 crore rupees in a single company. But in case if it is
Yes.
the category 3, then it has to be up to 10%. And that means if it
Okay.
is your category 3 fund, then 100 crore, 10% of 100 crore, and maximum ceiling of investment in any company would be 10 crore only.
Yes. So what I understand, to put it in other words, in case of category 1 or category 2, minimum 4 companies are to be invested into, because it is 25%. So if we divide the entire corpus by 25, then it's 4 companies at least we have to invest. And the reason being is diversification. Obviously it is very much important, 25% and 10%. So once the portfolio is diversified, the risk is mitigated to some extent. That may be the reason. And in case of category 3 fund, minimum 10 companies you have to, because uh, here it is 10%. So minimum 10 companies you have to invest into. You can invest into 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever. Well, my next question to Nimish bhai would be, what would be the best mix of investing into the companies from AIF? Say for example, there would be some sectorial caps, that yes, in this particular sector, if I've invested in one company or 2 companies or 3 companies, whatever the maximum percentage of allocation of my funds that I would be doing, or there may be some not only sectorial, then per company also, so that so as to mitigate the risk. Are you having any such kind of things in mind whenever you people invest?
Generally, sir, what we prefer while investing. So, let me tell you first that if there is an AIF, so first अगर हम पूरा overall बात करें कि AIF पूरे segment में किस तरीके से investment होता है, तो there might be some categories of AIF which prefer only some sectors. Like if somebody is very much interested into pharma, So they can also launch a pharma focused fund. And if somebody is more on the banking side or he understand more on the banking, so he can also start his financial focused fund. uh, what we generally do or what we generally prefer is we generally diversify our sectoral
Portfolio.
while we invest, because we think there are enough opportunity or enough sectors available in the India, and there is enough growth available in India when we invest in the companies, and we are investing at a certain point jahan par there is enough growth is available with the company, because they are generally uh, available. So in category one fund, if you think, generally companies come which is below 1,000 crore market cap or below 1,000 crore valuation, and at that time there are enough opportunity or enough market is available for these companies, because India is a consumption economy. So you cannot say कि यार FMCG grow नहीं करेगा या cement grow नहीं करेगा. There are enough opportunities available for each company. So we generally prefer कि यार हमारा sectoral diversification रहे. We are not covering just one sector, and we are also equally equipped कि यार we are not deploying more than our 15% or 20% of our capital into one sector, so that we are equally diversified, as well as we are equally क्या होता है ना कि कभी ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि यार आपके एक सेक्टर में देर इज अ बिग चैलेंज geopolitically or politically. Like if we there is a big challenge to lab grown diamond companies or the companies which are exporting to US. So if you are focused, like if you are just a pharma company, or you are focused in, or you are just investing in the pharma space, and pharma space is majority export driven, so then there will be a very big challenge to the fund, at the fund level कि यार अब क्या करेंगे, because you are 100% focused on the pharma. So we generally do not prefer a sectoral fund, and we generally diversify, and diversified more, we do not prefer to go more than 20% in just one sector.
Okay, thank you.
So
So,
I will add to this, sir. The Nimish bhai said very well that we do not go for one sector or like that. So उसका एक reason भी है, as Nimish bhai or we already considered that we are in the business of risk management, and the beauty of diversification is this only, sir. It provides with a huge margin of safety, and there is a chance of room of error. हमारे fund, for example, the fund manager has the chance of getting error, because जैसे क्योंकि यहाँ पे क्या है, we have the probability of getting also wrong. तो अगर आपके 10 में से 6 बेट भी अच्छी हुई, then you will make the tons of money. But for that you need the diversification. If there is a diversification along with the sectorial also, so may possible जैसे कि because of the government focus, because of the, for example, if we consider the solar that is the solar pump projects, so that is most probably dependent upon the Jal Jeevan missions. ओके मैं पॉसिबल कोई ईयर में अगर जल जीवन मिशन के ऊपर गवर्नमेंट का फोकस नहीं हुआ, then there is a chances of getting stuck into that. So to increase your probability of getting success, the diversification is very necessary.
great. So yes, diversification is the key to mitigate the risk. Well, my next question is why is AIF a better instrument of wealth creation? We are having n number of structures that are available. There are mutual funds, there are direct equity investing, there are direct debt instruments that are available in the market. There are n number of other things that can be done. People can invest into real estate, can go for rental income. It all depends upon their own financial plannings, how somebody wants to do. But why you think that AIF is better instrument for a wealth creation purpose, or this is having edge over the others?
So I would like to take this question. So first of all, as we have already discussed, that AIFs are being managed by professionals. So basically, to be a fund manager, which Nimish Bhai is, you have to give an exam with an ISM, which actually tests your skills, whether you are capable enough to manage people's money or not. Okay, and such exams are not very easy to clear. First of all, and the second thing is when you are giving your money to a professional, you are the professional is having a responsibility, and at the same time uh, they uh, they give a 100% commitment towards it, because It's a full-time activity, as we discussed. The investments is a full-time activity which cannot be done part-time. So first is professionally managed by fund managers and a team of qualified people like CAs, CFAs generally are doing it. So, and this is the first advantage that AIFs have over this traditional investing. The second thing is they get this institutional access. So AIF being a DII, they have the power to participate as an anchor investor, and also they can be a part of QIB. So this is something, what happens, as we have already seen a lot of times, there are some good IPOs going on where we see, the company is gonna get listed by 80%, 100% GMP it is showing. But since a retail cannot participate, because they do participate, but they don't get the confirmed allocation in many cases, because the IPO gets 100 times oversubscribed, 80 times oversubscribed. But whereas if you are an investor to AIF, so AIF being an institution, they have this stronghold that they can participate as an anchor, and they also get in most of the cases they also get a confirmed allocation in terms of QIB, proportionate confirmed allocation. So that is also a big advantage which I feel AIFs have. And one more important thing which the AIFs have an advantage is whenever you go at a fund level, so you are always having a chance that if you are having a good amount of fund, you will get those deals which many people might not get in the retail segment, because people will start approaching you at the early level, which if you are an retail investor, in that case people might not come to you because of the fund size. That is also one of the reason.
Okay. So Rahul
Uh,
bhai,
I
would you like to add
sir.
something more to this?
Yes, as you said, sir, ki there are the n number of opportunities that is available to any individual investor. He may go for the mutual funds, he may go for the PMS, may for the AIFs and everything. Okay, but that all depends upon the requirement and the subject of the individual investor. Because when we consider the mutual fund, so the mutual fund is designed to take designed for each and every type of the investors. यानी उसका अगर कोई म्यूचुअल फंड इंडस्ट्री है तो म्यूचुअल फंड की अगर स्कीम है तो दे हैव द इन्वेस्टर हु इज इन्वेस्टिंग 250 रुपीज पर मंथ, बिकॉज अभी तो 500 रुपए से भी 250 स्मॉल एसआईपी स्टार्टेड हो गई, तो वहां पे उनके पास इन्वेस्टर बेस है जो 250 रुपीज पर मंथ से लेके मे पॉसिबल 5 लाख 10 लाख रुपीज पर मंथ इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है. Okay, so the design of the mutual fund is like that कि they want to give a compounded return, and that is the healthy return. कि जो healthy return क्या होगा, it is your real GDP plus inflation, that is the nominal GDP plus some extra amount, some extra differentiation that may approx 14 to 15%. So they have to take care of the each and every investor, those who are investing. Whereas in case of the AIF and the PMS, the ticket size is very large. If it is PMS, the individual investor has to invest minimum 50 lakh rupees. If it is AIF, the minimum individual investor has to invest minimum investor, that may be individual, corporate, any entity, has to invest 1 crore rupees. So the manager who is managing the money, he knows that person, the fellow who is investing, is coming here for some extra gain. So he can take those leverage bet, that means those extra bets जहां पे उसका हल्का थोड़ा रिस्क बढ़ेगा, लेकिन तो साथ में जो रिटर्न का जो अल्फा है that is more higher. So उस तरह का अप्रोच है. तो so that is why I said it depends upon the investor. So the investor who wants to gain some extra advantage of the return, they more focus towards the PMS as well as the AIF. अब now again if I consider PMS and the AIF, the major differentiation is that PMS में जो भी होता है, if any person who is investing into the PMS, the units, and that means the shares will be credited to his demat account only. And in case if the PMS manager is buying 1000 Reliance, then 1000 Reliance proportionate basis पे उसके demat में credit हो जाएंगे. बट इन केस इफ इट इज एन AIF, तो वहां पे क्या होता है कि यूनिट जो इन्वेस्टर होगा उसको AIF के यूनिट्स अवेलेबल होंगे, और जो शेयर्स होंगे वो पुल्ड अकाउंट में रहेंगे, किसके AIF का जो डीमेट अकाउंट होगा उसके पुल्ड में रहेंगे, एंड द इन्वेस्टर विल गेट द यूनिट्स. AIF is more only and only for to focus up to 1000 investor. What does that mean? यानी आपकी कोई भी स्कीम में AIF के अंदर 1000 से ज्यादा इन्वेस्टर्स नहीं हो सकते. सो एक मैनेजर है, उसको आइडिया है कि आई हैव टू मैनेज अप टू 1000 इन्वेस्टर, दैट मे बी 5000 करोड़ इन्वेस्टमेंट साइज या 500 करोड़ या 100 करोड़, but maximum amount of investor would be 1000 crore, and the life cycle of PM AIF is already being designed at the time of starting the AIF. That means it is the 3 years or 5 years AIF only. So वहां पे उसके पास more flexibility रहती है to design the product and to give the returns, because उसको पता है कि वहां पे जो mindset के साथ में जो investor आ रहे हैं, they are more HNI, as well as they have the mindset to sit with them for 3 years, 5 years, because जैसे निमिश भाई already said, in case if it is category 1 and 2 AIF, it is close ended, or category 3 AIF is the open ended. Close ended means the investor do not have the right to get back the amount till the closure of that particular AIF. It is in the hand of the fund manager. And open ended में वो कभी भी entry exit ले सकता है, subject to the exit load that has been provided by the fund manager. So AIF is more structured and more designed to cater a specific class of the individual. So that is why I said कि कोई भी individual है, उसको कहाँ invest करना है, that is up to him कि उसका risk appetite कितना है. If his risk appetite is very low, if he has the monthly income, then he can go for the mutual funds. But if he has certain risk appetite और जहाँ पे उसको more customized product चाहिए, कि जहाँ पे उसका returns थोड़ा अच्छा बने, then they can go for the PMS. And if अगर थोड़ा और better options चाहिए, then they can go for the AIF.
So I also
So
want to
what?
add
So,
some point here. So in 2012, SEBI started the AIF thing. So this is just to give the opportunity to India's HNI and ultra HNI to give them power of institution. Earlier, what someone if someone wants to participate, as Jitesh bhai said कि अगर किसी को anchor में participate करना है, तो there is no option available. So to give the power to HNI and ultra HNIs, because this category of investors are increasing in India, and they are increasing at more than double digit, with the speed of more than double digit. So if we see in last 2 years or 3 years in India, AIFs raised approximately 13.5 lakh crores of worth of commitment. 13.5 lakh crores worth of commitment. That is a very huge amount, and the whole space is categorized to be as a bit riskier, or AIF is considered to be a riskier asset as compared to mutual funds as well as PMS. Because PMS में तो क्या है, पूरा पैसा आपके ही अकाउंट में पड़ा है, बट AIF इज समथिंग जो आपके पास यूनिट्स हैं, और वहां पर थोड़ा सा रिस्क ज्यादा है, क्योंकि यार अगर अगर मुझे रिस्क कम लेना है तो मेरे पास म्यूचुअल फंड ऑप्शन अवेलेबल है, मेरे पास पीएमएस ऑप्शन अवेलेबल है, मैं खुद भी इंडिविजुअल इन्वेस्टिंग कर सकता हूँ. बट एआईएफ इज समथिंग विच इज कैटेगरिकली थोड़ा सा हाई रिस्क एंड हाई रिटर्न, हाई अल्फा वाला गेम है. सो overall AIF industry is booming because of the rising HNIs and rising ultra HNIs in India, as well as SEBI is also started कि यार इस पे उनका पूरा विजिलेंस है, एज वेल एज अभी रिसेंटली एक और कैटेगरी ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट कंपनी, एक और कैटेगरी इन्होंने स्टार्ट करी है, स्पेशल इन्वेस्टमेंट फंड SIF करके भी. सेबी इज ऑल्सो कमिंग अप विद वन मोर प्रोडक्ट कि यार अब जिनका 1 करोड़ से भी ऊपर होता है, जिनका 10 करोड़ का मिनिमम टिकट साइज है, तो म्यूचुअल फंड कंपनीज कैन स्टार्ट विद SIF. So these are categories which is created for Indian HNIs and ultra HNIs so that they can take better risk, they can institutionalize their investment. Even the family office culture is also coming up in tier 2, tier 3 cities in India. So धीरे धीरे क्या हो रहा है कि जो भी इन्वेस्टमेंट पहले जो अर्लियर कि यार उन्होंने बोल दिया जो कर दिया, they are now institutionalized and they are now professionally managed by fund managers which understand the risk, which understand the returns, which understand the company's fundamentals, technicals of the investment, so that it can be managed professionally, as well as the risk can be mitigated at a certain level. So AIF is booming because of all these reasons, and the SEBI push is always there.
also, I would like to add one point over here. As Nimish said, कि SEBI का intervention है, and SEBI is regulating AIF obviously. The very good part of AIF is there is a skin in the game in AIF, which is not there in many other products. So SEBI has mandated that the people who have started the AIF, which are technically called the sponsors, ठीक है, उनको खुद का पैसा भी लगाना जरूरी है, उसके बिना आप सिर्फ पब्लिक का पैसा लेके आप कहते हैं ना एएफ रन नहीं कर सकते हो. So which I feel is a very good check which SEBI has established because जब भी किसी का खुद का पैसा लगा हुआ है और वो कोई डिसीजन मेकिंग ग्रुप में अगर उनकी हो रही है, तो that also signifies the kind of integrity which will be there in case of AIF, which might be there in the other products as well. But again, when the sponsors have committed their own multiple crores, okay, so that shows how vigilant they might be while managing the fund.
Yes, Rahul bhai.
Along with this, sir, the government is also pushing towards the AIF type of the investment. The reason is that, but India is currently also is more focused for the MSME economy. If we consider that our total GDP, 30 to 35% is catered by the MSMEs. In case if it is manufacturing concern, then it is 35 to 40% of the manufacturing aspect is covered by the MSME. And in case of the export, that is the 40 to 45% is for the MSME. Now, if any MSME wants to take the growth capital, what is the criteria available? What are the capital criteria? Either he can go for the bank loans or go for the IPOs. But before the getting to the IPO, then also if they need some growth capital, so that they can get some amount of the reasonable valuations before the IPO and like that. So for that also, the more AIFs, that is category 1 and category 2 AIFs, which are prone towards the early stage of the investment, can be very helpful for them. So the government is also focusing ki yes, the MSME should get the growth capital so that the entrepreneur can get their business, they can exceed or they can excel their business in a better way.
Yes. So just Jitesh bhai said that there is a skin in the game. Some amount is to be given by the sponsors as well. So if you can please throw some light on this, what is the amount, what is some percentage or some something is there, some limit is there. So please throw some light on that.
Yeah, so in Cat 1 and Cat 2, 5% the sponsor has to contribute, whereas in the Cat 3, 2.5%.
Pardon?
Cat 1 and 2, 5% of the total amount of the fund, and Cat 3, 2.5%.
Okay, Cat 3 is 2.5%.
And there is a maximum capping of 5 crore rupees up to 5 minimum. The in case, for example, if you're 1000 crore rupees of your AIF and the 5% comes to 50 crore rupees, so there is a maximum cap that be up to 5 crore you need to invest. Beyond that, if the sponsor is not investing, then also it is okay.
So 5 crore or
Okay.
2.5%, whichever is less, I would say.
Whichever is
Whichever
less,
is less.
2.5% or 5 crore, whichever is less, and for
Whichever is
category
less.
3, 5% or 10 crore, whichever is less.
Whichever is less.
5% or 10 crore,
Yes.
whichever is less, right? So great. So well, who can float AIFs? Who can create AIFs? How these are to be floated? What is the process in a summarized way? If you can share with us, because lot many professionals they are attending this program, and they would also like to know that how this AIF can be floated. What is the process in summarized this way? If you can tell us, please.
So if I can say that for floating in any AIF, there need at least 5 to 7 entities. First of all, the sponsor. The sponsor is the person who commit the commitment amount. As he said, the 5% or the 10 crore rupees or 2.5% or 5 crore, whichever is lower. That the commitment amount for the AIF. So that is known as a sponsor. So one is the sponsor. Second one is the investment management entity. The entity which manage the particular AIF. So that is the responsibility of IM to manage the entire working of the AIF. Third one is the
IM
trust.
means
Trust
what is IM?
investment manager.
Okay.
Investment manager will manage the particular AIF. So it has to be any entity which will manage. It may be the private limited company or the LLP which manage that particular AIF. Third one is the trust. Trust is the trust. It may be the trust or the body corporate, but the maximum AIF is the trust, which is because which is the determined trust. So जिस ट्रस्ट के अंदर जिसके यूनिट्स आपको अलोकेट होंगे, द फंड दैट इज द AIF, दैट इज द फंड, इट इज द ट्रस्ट. Along with that, we need to have a trustee, जहां जो ट्रस्टी बनेगा उस AIF के अंदर, plus the person who is the appointed as a custodian. The custodian is the person who will take the custody of the entire AIF. उसका बैंकिंग ट्रांजेक्शन्स हो गए, एट द सेम टाइम उसके सिक्योरिटीज हो गई, एवरीथिंग कस्टडी, एवरी कस्टोडियन हैज टू डू द कस्टडी ऑफ द सेम. एक कस्टोडियन हो गया, प्लस यू नीड टू हैव अ बैंकर जहां पे आपका अकाउंट ओपन होगा, सेपरेट बैंकर जो, and the banking custody will be also with the custodian only, not with the investment manager. So IM cannot do any banking transactions. It has to be approved and done by the custodian only. So IM is only मतलब just they can view the transaction, they cannot do, initiate कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते हैं वो. And the custodian, so that will take the custody of the, you will need to have the RTA also, you will need to have the NSD and the CDSL process also, जहाँ पे क्योंकि because you need to have the ISIN of your fund, because you need to give the units to the unit holder, that is the investors to the of the AIF. So वहाँ पे आपको ISIN के लिए आपको CDSL NSDL का भी जरूरत रहता है. So these are all are the broadly the entities which are involved in the process of the AIF.
Okay. So you said trustee, sponsor. So my next question is whether the trustees and sponsors can be same person, or they have to be different, or they can be same or they can be different. Anything is possible.
So they can be same and they can be different as well.
Okay.
And sir, one more thing which I want to add, what Rahul bhai said is the complete. So there are multiple entities which are there while you create an AIF. So it is not like कि एक बंदे ने आया, उसने अपने 5 करोड़ लगाए, बनाया, इन्वेस्ट किया और चले गए. So you can't do like that. You need to have minimum 20 crore of worth of commitment when you start, and you also invest, and you also have a, ऐसा नहीं है कि यार 5 जने घर के मिलके, और you can't start like that. It needs to be professionalized. It needs to be audited. It needs to be documented properly. It needs to be you also need to do KYC. You also need to do depository process, CDSL NSDL से भी आपको करना पड़ेगा. Custodian अलग होगा, banker अलग होगा, trading partners और जो हम बोलते हैं brokers वो अलग होंगे. So everyone has their own thing in the AIF, and there are multiple parties involved while we invest in any company. Even it is unlisted, listed, हम कोई भी company में invest कर रहे हैं, we need to approach multiple parties at the same time when we buy, and at also same time when we sell. And आपका जो ISIN जो allocate होता है, it will also give so like मान लीजिए कि यार अपन 3 साल में आपका लॉक-इन है कैटेगरी 1 और कैटेगरी 2 फंड में, बट कैटेगरी 2 फंड में आपने मान लीजिए 2 साल बाद इफ यू वांट टू कोई कारणवश आपको बेचना पड़ रहा है, सो यू हैव द इनफ लिक्विडिटी अवेलेबल. जनरली लिक्विडिटी नहीं होती है, बट क्या होता है कि मान लीजिए आपको ट्रांसफर करना है आपकी फैमिली मेंबर को या किसी को भी और ट्रांसफर करना है, तो दूसरे जैसे मान लो पीएमएस है तो पूरा सेल करना पड़ेगा, आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट पूरा सेल करना पड़ेगा. इसमें क्या होता है, आप यूनिट्स को पूरा सेल कर सकते हो किसी और पार्टनर को, किसी और इन्वेस्टर को, एंड यू कैन टेक एग्जिट एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. So this is also give the liquidity option is also available with the investors. Category 3 में तो open ended होता है, तो उसमें तो आप चाहे जब सेल कर ही सकते हैं, बट कैटेगरी 1 and 2 also give opportunity after 3 years कि यार आप एग्जिट लोड दो या किसी और इन्वेस्टर्स को इंट्रोड्यूस करके you can take the exit if the SEBI criteria is available, और आपने SEBI criteria follow किए हैं तो आप you can take exit also. So this will also provide the opportunity to the investors in the AIF.
Great. So if I summarize how to float an AIF, what I understand from what these gentlemen have discussed, first we need to identify who will be the fund manager. We also need to identify the commitments of 20 crores minimum. ये 20 crores कहाँ से आएंगे? We also need to identify the trustees, who would be the trustees. We also need to identify the sponsors, who would be the sponsors. At the same time, we also need to create the entities for the trusteeship, the entities for sponsors, for the fund managers. There can be minimum there has to be two entities at least, one for the fund management, another for the purpose of holding, that may be in the structure of trust and all these things. You also need to appoint some law firm to take care of the legal formalities of entire these things, drafting of ppm, waiting and all these things. We also need to appoint one custodian. We also need to appoint the fund accountants, like the bankers and all these, they also serve this purpose. So trustee we have already discussed. So all these things are required to be done. And then uh, uh, one more question or one more thing, based on your experience, I would like to know what would be the minimum team size to do the various activities. What is the kind of the people that you will need in a AIF? Because if somebody from this audience tomorrow decides to go and float an AIF, and then we believe that yes, this program is successful, that somebody has decided to create or open a new AIF. So you please let us know what would be the optimum size, or what are the regular tasks that an AIF needs to do apart from that fund management, that fund manager's role. There are so many other roles that also needs to be done in case of an AIF. So what are these roles, and what is the kind of team that we would need for that?
सर मिनिमम टू
Rahul bhai?
बिगिन विथ
Okay. Yeah, Nimish bhai, please.
सो मिनिमम टू बिगिन विथ, अगर आपको छोटा सा भी फंड लॉन्च करना है, इवन इफ इट इज द साइज इज 20 करोड़ और 30 करोड़, यू नीड टू हैव मिनिमम 5 to 10 people around, apart from the fund manager, because there is a continuous compliance requirement from the SEBI. So you need to take care of that first of all. Apart from investing fund, you need to take care of the compliance first, because अगर आपने compliance नहीं किया तो it's a continuous reporting to the SEBI and as well as investors. So first thing is your compliance need to be checked. So at least 2 people you need to have on the daily basis who will keep checking on कि यार हमारा compliance proper है या नहीं. Another 2 or 3 people you need for research, because you know if we talk about Sunrise India, at our fund also we regularly get at least 5 PPT a day, and 5 PPTs a day. First of all, to identify which one we need to think about is also a task. So you need 2 people, at least 2 or 3 people who will first categorize कि यार ये आपको देखना है, and then start the process of कि यार then you have the calls with the management, you have calls with the investors. So you need 1-2 people on the admin side also, जो who takes care of all these things कि यार किसी investor को किसी तरह की problems है, या किसी management से आपको call arrange करना है. Plus you also need to have the admin side जहाँ पर हम we can also market AIF properly, or you can be in connect with the investor as well as other funds or other investments also. तो वो उन सब के लिए minimum आपको 5-6 लोग तो चाहिए, and then as and when your size rises, you need to add more people on each side कि यार आपको किस तरीके से उसको increase करना है.
Okay. Anybody would like to add something? So then my next question is, if the investors, they want to avail the services of the AIFs, so obviously AIFs would also be earning something out of the activity that they are doing. So what are the kind of the fee structures that are there? Okay. Or the various fee that a AIF would be collecting from its investors for
So
providing these
there are,
services.
majorly 2 or 3 types of fee structures that are there for AIF. So one is the operational expenses fees, which is generally very nominal, in the range of 0.5 to 1%, which AIFs charge, and the other one is the management fees, which is generally in the range of 1.5 to 2.5%, which AIFs are charging on the total AUM. And the third one is the carry fees, which we can say the performance based fees, which AIFs usually charge above a threshold. So if the hurdle rate, which we can say in the layman language, which in the industry some AIFs are, are having 10%, some are having 12%, some are having 15%. our AIF is having 20%. These are the major types of, I would say, cost to the investor.
So management fee is there, setup fee is there, then performance fee, which you said catch up, carry catch up, or whatever it is, hurdle rates and all these things. Okay, these things are there. I think Rahul bhai is willing to add something to this.
तो सर इसमें क्या होता है ना, that also depends upon the nature of your AIF. If it is more skewed category 1 or category 2 AIF, then they charge the performance fees on without any hurdle. That means you have, if you receive 10%, about 10%, then the for entire amount, assume that is the, they decided कि about 10% we will charge the performance fees of 20%. That means, or the in the to the life cycle of that particular fund, if they generated 20% XIRR return, then the 20% would be applicable on entire 20%. So generally on the, typically on the category 1 and category 2, this type of practice is being prevalent. But for example, as Jitesh bhai said, that in case of the Sunrise fund, we have decided that the hurdle is 20%. So beyond that only the carry fees will be applicable. And if it is the close-ended fund, then the carry will be carry, that means the difference amount, that is a performance fee, fees will be given to the investment manager at the end of, at the end of the cycle of that particular fund. That means if your cycle of the fund is 5 year, then that extra amount of the performance of carry will be paid to the fund in case of the close-ended fund at the end of fifth year only.
So what I understand is, as an informed investor, one should go through the agreements which they enter into with AIFs properly. They should check the charges first. Whatever fee that they need to pay to the AIF, these all should be mentioned beforehand. Okay, these charges whichever would be levied, these are there cannot be any hidden charges. Whatever the charges that would be levied needs to be disclosed, needs to be in the agreement. Okay, so am I right?
Yes,
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 sir.
it is
Everything is
already
So very
written in the
transparent
written on.
PPM.
kind of things are being maintained, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, 100%.
So
Everything
one should,
everything is written on the PPM. So PPM is a document. मैं आपको बता देता हूँ, जितना अगर हम DRHP और prospectus देखते हैं, एक जब कंपनी IPO लेके आती है, उतना ही बड़ा prospectus होता है जिसमें पूरी everything is written. But there are some things which is very important in that particular PPM is your charges, minimum investment amount, आपका कहाँ investment करने वाले हैं, तो वो सारी चीजें उस PPM document में mentioned होती है. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट उसमें कितने चार्जेस लगेंगे, सेटअप फीस से लेके ओपेक्स, योर हर्डल, सब एवरीथिंग एवरीथिंग जो भी आप एक इन्वेस्टमेंट मैनेजर के साथ डॉक्यूमेंट साइन कर रहे हैं, दैट इज द पीपीएम ओनली. तो पीपीएम इंक्लूड्स एवरीथिंग कि आप कहाँ इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं, किसमें इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं, इन्वेस्टमेंट कैसे होगा, उसका रिटर्न कैसे कैलकुलेट होगा, वो इवन वहां पर एग्जांपल भी दिए हुए होते हैं कि किस तरह से रिटर्न कैलकुलेट होगा. So PPM is the exhaustive document which will be given or shared with each and every investor of AIF, and that will be calculated, और वहां पर सब कुछ उसका पूरा calculation सब कुछ दिया हुआ है.
right, I understand. So there would be a signed agreement between the investor and the AIF, and also PPM is, apart from that, there is a separate document which also needs to be seen. But in the signed agreement, you would get the gist and everything of this. So Rahul bhai, I will be turning to you now. My question is, in the last 2-3 months, we have experienced very turbulent times, I would say. Not only these 2-3 months, as such, for the last 2-3 years, post Ukraine Russia war, continuously turbulent times are going on. Maybe for a month or two, the market had been good, and then again, the things have been very, I would say, shaky kind of things. Okay. So, being in fund manager, may it be a mutual fund manager or may it be an AIF manager, or when you people look at the entire from a 360-degree holistic viewpoint, that you want to invest into some companies, so how you would be doing it, what you would be what you would be seeing. Obviously I understand that the very first thing that you said is to protect the capital, risk management is the key, और फिर pitch पे betting करेंगे तो run तो बनने ही वाले हैं, that is what I understand. But beyond that, what would be your philosophy, what would be your strategy, and which others should also you think that they should follow?
Sir, I will tell this that कि हाँ, this is for sure कि you need to be on the pitch, कि आपको pitch पे तो रहना ही पड़ेगा. If you get out of the pitch, then तो it will be very difficult to come again. बिकॉज मार्केट के अंदर क्या होता है कि इट इज वेरी, जब अगर रिबाउंड भी होता है ना तो वो इतना शार्प होता है कि यू विल नॉट गेट इवन अ सिंगल डे टू कम इन. सो द थियरी दैट कि 100% द मार्केट इज गेटिंग डाउन तो मैं 100% कैश में आ जाऊं और जब बढ़ेगा तब मैं वापस से इनसाइड आ जाऊंगा, इट इज नॉट प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल. देयर इज अ सिंपल, देयर इज अ कंसेप्ट ऑफ द डैनियल kahneman जिसने बताया था कि देयर इज अ कंसेप्ट ऑफ द सिस्टम 1 एंड द सिस्टम 2. सर इफ यू नो, हमारा जो बॉडी पार्ट होता है ना, उसमें जो बॉडी पार्ट के अंदर जो ब्रेन है, इट टेक्स ओनली 2 to 3% ऑफ योर बॉडी वेट, बट टोटल एनर्जी का 25% जो है वो ब्रेन ले लेता है.
ये
सो द
आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की तरह ही हो गया आजकल. आर्टिफिशियल
सो द
इंटेलिजेंस पावर कंज्यूम बहुत ज्यादा करता है.
so something like that only. So the Daniel has made a two series. There is a system 1 and system 2. System 1 is the very fast, very automatic. That is heuristic. मतलब जो emotional नहीं होता है, effortless होता है. And the system 2 is the slow, deliberate, effortful होता है. That the which requires the thinking process. सो whenever what happens कि हमारे पास, जैसे अभी हमने देखा कि यूएस सैंक्शन कर रहा है कि 25% टैरिफ, देन अगेन 25% टैरिफ. सो ह्यूमन ब्रेन जो है वो 25% आपका एनर्जी ले लेता है. अगेन 25 इज एनोलॉजी, वो 25 से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, बट आपकी मैक्सिमम एनर्जी वो ले लेता है. तो इट वर्क्स वेरी फास्ट. तो आपको क्या करेगा वो, इट क्रिएट्स द एंकरिंग बायस. एंकरिंग बायस का मतलब आपकी जो रिसेंट इवेंट्स है वो कंसिडर करेगा कि नहीं यार, अब तो मार्केट डाउन हो रहा है, अभी ऐसा होगा, अभी वैसा होगा, यूएस ने ये कर दिया तो टेक्सटाइल नहीं चलेगा. द फोकस ऑफ द फार्मा स्टॉक में वो बोल रहे 250% तक का मैं आपको क्या टैरिफ लगा देंगे, देन द फार्मा विल आल्सो गो डाउन, समथिंग लाइक दैट. ये एक रिटेल इंडिविजुअल और सभी के माइंड में ये डिस्टर्बेंस आता है. बट इफ वी गो विद द डैनियल kahneman सिस्टम टू कहता है कि नहीं, आप रुको, you think logically whether this is sustainable. 50%, अगर 10% 15% भी आपका एडिशनल टैरिफ होगा, देन द बिजनेस इज नॉट सस्टेनेबल. तो 50% हो या 500% हो, उससे क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है फिर. सेकंड, द कंपनीज विच आर इन द गुड बैलेंस शीट्स. हमने कोविड भी देखा था, 6 मंथ्स के बाद पूरा मार्केट कवर हो गया. सो आई वुड से दिस टाइप ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज जो होती है ना, दे आर द ब्लेसिंग इन डिसगाइज. यानी जो फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर्स की बात करते हैं, तो वी नीड टू फाइंड आउट दोस कंपनीज विच आर गुड इन बैलेंस शीट, जहां पे क्लीन मैनेजमेंट है, बैलेंस शीट्स गुड है, कैश के अवेलेबिलिटी है. लेकिन हाँ, होगा वहां पे क्यों 2 3 4 5 क्वार्टर का पेन रहेगा, बट क्या होगा, दे विल शिफ्ट देयर बिजनेस. जैसे यूके एफटीए आ गया, प्लस दे विल हैव मोर सेटअप्स. अगर मैं कोई स्पेसिफिक कंपनी की बात करूं तो दे डू नॉट हैव ओनली इंडिया प्रेजेंस, दे हैव द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेटअप इन द केनिया आल्सो, साउथ अफ्रीका आल्सो. तो वो यूएस का एक्सपोर्ट वहां से कर सकते हैं. मतलब देयर कैन बी द एन नंबर ऑफ पॉसिबिलिटीज होगी. तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा, जो वीकर कंपनीज होगी, बैलेंस शीट जिसकी वीक होगी वो डंप हो जाएगी, बट जो स्ट्रॉन्गर होगी वो मार्केट गेन करेगी. सो फॉर देम यस, 2 3 मंथ्स का आपको 2 3 क्वार्टर्स का पेन रहेगा, बट देन यू विल गेट द अल्फा रिटर्न. सो जो आपने बात किया था कि वी आर हियर टू जनरेट द अल्फा, जहां पे आपको क्या मिले, मल्टीबैगर्स मिले. सो मल्टीबैगर्स कब मिलेंगे सर, जहां पे दो चीज होगी. यहाँ पे एक तो वैल्यूएशन रीरेट होगा और ईपीएस रीरेट होगा, डबल इंजन होगा. तो वैल्यूएशन रीरेटिंग इज जस्ट पॉसिबल बिकॉज मार्केट इज नॉट ऑलवेज एफिशिएंट मार्केट. वहां पे क्या होता है, ग्रीड और फियर चलता है. सो कभी किसी का लिवरेज कट आउट हो रहा होगा तो वो सेल करेगा. सो देयर कैन बी एन नंबर ऑफ थिंग्स. जैसे ही ग्रीड और फियर चलता है, तो आपको जहां पे वैल्यूएशन डिप्रेस्ड मिला, प्लस आपके पास 2 या 3 इयर्स के बाद अर्निंग विजिबिलिटी आएगी, तो दोनों डबल इंजन बेनिफिट्स मिलेगा. और इट इज नॉट हैपनिंग फर्स्ट टाइम. बहुत बार बहुत कंपनीज के अंदर होता है कि वो अपनी लाइफ साइकिल के अंदर क्या होता है कि 2000 फॉर एग्जांपल 2021 के अंदर बहुत सारी कंपनीज जो थी, जो वन टाइम, आई वुड से 1 time 2 times, जैसे न्यू लैब, आई एम जस्ट वी आर जस्ट रिफरिंग एनी ऑफ द स्टॉक जस्ट फॉर द एजुकेशनल पर्पस, नथिंग बाय एंड सेल. जैसे न्यूलैंड लेबोरेटरीज था, वो 1 time प्राइस टू सेल्स पे ट्रेड कर रहा था 2019-20 में. एंड व्हाई, बिकॉज वो 3 इयर्स 4 इयर्स डाउन द लाइन के इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहा था, तो एकदम डिप्रेस्ड वैल्यूएशन पे था. आज दैट कंपनी इज ट्रेडिंग एट 15 टाइम प्राइस टू सेल्स. 5 साल में 15x तो खाली वैल्यूएशन री रेट हुआ, एंड अर्निंग री रेटिंग इज डिफरेंट. सो आई बिलीव कि इस तरह की कोई भी सिचुएशंस आती है, रशिया यूक्रेन एवरीथिंग जो भी है, आपके पास एक ब्लेसिंग इन डिसगाइज निकलता है. एंड सर, वी ऑलवेज कंसिडर द मार्केट, मार्केट क्या जा रहा है, बट मार्केट 5,000 कंपनीज का है. वी नीड ओनली 25 कंपनीज. हमको कहाँ 5,000 कंपनीज चाहिए, वी नीड ओनली 25 गुड कंपनीज जो मार्केट को बीट करती है. और अगर आपने ऐसी 25 अच्छी कंपनीज आइडेंटिफाई कर ली जिसमें वैल्यूएशन रीजनेबल है, मैनेजमेंट रीजनेबल है, एंड टैलविंड इन द सेक्टर है, सेक्टर इज गुड है, देन यू कैन मेक द लॉट ऑफ अमाउंट ऑफ मनी.
Jitesh bhai, you would like to add something?
Yes, I would like to add a couple of things as discussed. Yeah, obviously, जो ये situations चल रही हैं, उसके अंदर valuations are very important. At the same time, what we are focusing right now is whenever we decide any or make any investment decision, we always keep a strong focus along with the valuation on the management as well. So we feel, especially with the small companies, management is something which is very essential. बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. So I'll just take an example to throw some light on this. I feel management is a driver, right? कार कितनी भी अच्छी क्यों ना हो, चाहे वो 10 करोड़ की भी गाड़ी क्यों ना हो, लेकिन अगर ड्राइवर अच्छा नहीं है तो एक्सीडेंट होगा ही होगा. दैट इज फॉर श्योर, राइट. एंड ऑन द कॉन्ट्रेरी, अगर 10 लाख की भी गाड़ी है और अगर ड्राइवर अच्छा है तो एक्सीडेंट नहीं होगा. So it is very important. Sector का tailwind valuation, both the things are very important. But more than that, what is most important is I feel the management. उनके साथ में management का अच्छा होना बहुत जरूरी है. So that gives you an additional comfort because if we are able to understand the integrity points of the management, कितने साल से experience है, corporate governance कितनी follow करी है, क्या किया है, क्या नहीं किया है, ठीक है. So those things give us a very strong insight about the confidence or the conviction to hold on such stocks for the long term, not just getting out with the 30, 50 or 60% of the returns which we get sometimes in the anchor as well.
So great. Two things that we have learned from our masters right away. One, Rahul bhai said, what I understand from his entire discussion is, market is merciless, brutal. It is like a karate teacher, I would say, who would put you to the toughest test. But once you follow the things with discipline, consistency, and everything, it would be rewarding you in a very handsome way. So the only thing is, you need to be consistent, you need to be disciplined, and you need to be well informed investor. If these things are there, it is going to reward you. But at the same time, if you are opposite, if you are indisciplined, you are full of greed and greed, which everybody is, but we need to overcome that. If we are indisciplined, if we are inconsistent, then for sure we are going to be punished, maybe punished to death, I would say. And we have seen many such cases in our lifetime. At the same time, Jitesh bhai also gave a very important lesson that yes, corporate governance is the key. So whenever we are investing, especially at the institutional level, I think these things are very much important to see what kind of management it is, the kind of business they are into, and at the same time, of course, reasonable valuation. Somebody said that whatever good, howsoever good the company may be, but if it is bought at inappropriate or high valuations, I would say, then that is a bad purchase, I would say, then that is a bad investment. And people are bound to fail into such kind of thing. So not only the promoters or the businessmen, not only the business, but at the same time reasonable valuations, these are the key. These are very very much important. Till what time this session is to be, Virag bhai is not there, I think.
I think,
Nothing
sir,
is there.
we can start with question answer also.
Yeah, we do, but what time shall we start with the question answer?
I think it's already 1 hour 30, 25 minutes.
Yeah,
So
it's
30.
almost one
I
and a
think
half hour, I
Viraj
think.
Bhai is there. He will be the right one to guide
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, I am here. Once our panel discussion will over, we'll take the questions. So already we have covered around 1 hour 30 minutes. So total 90 minutes of panel discussion. So we can take a question. If anything important is left out, we can give a 5 minutes for panel discussion.
Sure.
Okay.
So shall we start with the question answers? So so it has been a
After
wonderful
five
discussion.
minutes, after five
Acha,
minutes of panel discussion, we will go to for a question
okay.
answer. Meanwhile, I would like to request all the viewers to post their question in the question tab, and we'll take one by one. Whatever advanced question we received, we have already take out that. Jitesh
Hmm.
bhai is already available that, and whatever live session, live question answer question we'll receive, we'll take one by one that as well. Over to you, Vikas
Okay.
bhai.
Thank you, sir. So one question that I'd like to ask is, there has been a rising trends of HNI for the AIFs as a sector. We have seen that number of the registrations of number of AIF that has been growing. That is available on the SEBI website as well. The applications which has been made for the AIF registration, the number of AIFs registered. At the same time, we have seen that these are growing leaps and bounds in the gift city. Gift city, I hope that most of the professionals would be aware of. So my question would be, please throw some light on gift AIF. There is the AIF which are being incorporated in gift.
So the Gift City IF has the particular focus, sir. It is the government has given a very good advantage for the Gift City. So it has the particular focused in relation to either your investment is coming from outside India. That means if your investor base is outside India and you are investing either in India or outside India, then it is permittable. Second investment type, second process that can be that your investment is from India, but you are doing it as the entire amount is invested in the outside India funds. So these both kind of the categories, the Gift City investment and Gift City AIF can be started. And Gift City, the major benefit is the on account of the taxation. Here, the management fees, whatever the IM entity charging, is completely tax free. Income tax is also free, as well as the GST is also free, tax free. So the major advantage is the tax free status, and it provide a very key way. I would say a very good platform for any person who is the residing outside India and want to make the investments in India. For them, it is a very good vehicles, good vehicle.
तो आईएफएससी और जो गिफ्ट सिटी में हमारे जितने भी आईआईएफ्स बन रहे हैं दैट इज राइजिंग बिकॉज if you are an NRI or you want to invest in India, so this is one of the route which give you benefit also, which give you tax benefit also, and also give you uh, a dedicated path to invest in the India growth journey. So earlier क्या होता है ना कि एनआरआई अकाउंट, एनआरओ अकाउंट और ये जितना भी बनाना होता है, दैट टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम. तो उसके कारण देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ चैलेंजेस व्हिच द इन्वेस्टर्स आर फेसिंग व्हिच वांट्स टू इन्वेस्ट इन इंडिया. सो by providing this, the SEBI provided the opportunity to invest in the Indian companies, and at the same time अगर Indian people को कहीं इन्वेस्ट करना है तो this again at the कि यार आपको एक स्ट्रीमलाइंड वे मिल जाता है जिससे आप इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हो आउटसाइड इंडिया.
Great. So what I understand that gift city AIFs essentially are for cross-border investments. So if the money is flowing from foreign countries, then that investment has to be made in India. And if the money is being collected from India, that investment has to be done abroad. Right?
Right.
Okay. So my next question would be, say for example, if you are holding some shares, obviously the shares must have been bought with some conviction, and that is the reason you are holding those shares. Then what triggers you to sell those shares, or what is the time when you see that yes, this is the appropriate exit point for those shares?
So, sir, earlier what I mentioned, when we buy shares, we follow the approach of TBM. So, Tailwind, valuation, and management. So, at the time of selling also we follow the same process. कि यार हमने जो 3 ट्रिगर पॉइंट्स थे जिसके कारण हमने इस कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट किया. सो एनी पॉइंट ऑफ कि यार जैसे जितेश भाई ने बोला कि मैनेजमेंट इज द ड्राइवर. तो अगर यार मैनेजमेंट सही नहीं होगा तो एक्सीडेंट हो सकता है. सो एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम आफ्टर आवर इन्वेस्टमेंट वी फील कि यार मैनेजमेंट में कहीं ऊपर नीचे हो रहा है या देयर इज कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस इशू इन द कंपनी. सो दैट इज वन ट्रिगर कि हम एग्जिट ले लें. सेकंड ट्रिगर की यार वैल्यूएशन, जैसे आई सेड कि यार एसी कंपनीज में देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ चैलेंजेस नाउ. सो वहां पर अब वैल्यूएशन एक बहुत हेफ्टी वैल्यूएशन हो चुका है, वहां पर अब पैसा बनने का चांसेस कम है. देन वी विल टेक द एग्जिट. एंड थर्ड इज द टेलविंड कि यार सेक्टर का टेलविंड अब अब यहाँ पर बहुत सारे क्राउडेड प्लेस हो गया है एंड देयर आर लॉट ऑफ अदर कंपनीज अवेलेबल, मार्जिन्स विल श्रिंक. तो यार ये तीनों चीजों के साथ साथ देन वी ब्लेंड द टेक्निकल एनालिसिस. एज जितेश भाई सेड कि यार कहीं कहीं पे केवल फंडामेंटल से काम नहीं चलता है, हमारे को ये भी समझना पड़ता है कि यार टेक्निकल्स आल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट. सो एट द पॉइंट ऑफ एंट्री, एट द पॉइंट ऑफ एग्जिट, वी आल्सो एड अप टेक्निकल्स की यार यहाँ पर अब पास डेटा है हमारे पास, 1 या 2 साल 5 साल से कंपनी लिस्टेड है, तो कहीं ना कहीं यार आपके पास एक जर्नी होती है, कंपनी का पूरा चार्ट पैटर्न होता है जहां पर आपको कंसोलिडेशन, जहां पर आपको समझ में आता है कि यार यहाँ से पुल बैक आ सकता है. तो इट विल, सो ब्लेंड ऑफ ऑल विल गिव अस अ गुड क्राइटेरिया कि यार यहाँ से हमें एग्जिट लेना चाहिए, यहाँ से हमें एंट्री लेना चाहिए. More Jitesh bhai and Rahul bhai will add.
Also, yes, also there are some things as we discussed, as Nimish also highlighted, कि technical parameters में बहुत सारी चीज दिखने लग जाती है काफी बार fundamentals में नहीं आने की पहले भी, because you know what I have seen and observed over these 11 years of my experience into markets is कि कोई भी बड़ी announcement, कोई भी बड़ी trigger किसी कंपनी में आने के पहले वो उसका कुछ ना कुछ पहले एक्शन पे वो हाईलाइट होने लग जाता है, बिकॉज इंटरनली कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ चीजें कुक हो रही होती है. मे बी यू नो गुड रिजल्ट्स आपने देखा होगा काफी बार, किसी कंपनी के बहुत अच्छे रिजल्ट आए, ठीक है, और रिजल्ट आने के बाद में स्टॉक गिरने लग गया, तो ये तो फंडामेंटली वैसे देखोगे तो अच्छा ही था, राइट, ठीक है, बट होता क्या है कि वो जो रिजल्ट्स आते हैं, ठीक है, क्वार्टर एंडिंग के लेट से 15 दिन बाद में, 20 दिन बाद आए, एक डेढ़ महीने बाद आए, तो वी शुड ऑलवेज ऑल्सो सी कि भाई रिजल्ट्स क्वार्टर एंड होने के बाद में ये स्टॉक पर्टिकुलरली बहुत ज्यादा चला था कि नहीं चला था. तो देर आर चांसेस कि अगर इंटरनली किसी ने यू नो वट एवर द वेज आर देयर इन मार्केट, लोगों ने अगर उठाया है उस पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक को, तो देर आर चांसेस अगर वो 15-20%, 25% चल गया है, तो देर आर चांसेस की प्रॉफिट बुकिंग आ जाए, ठीक है. सो सच काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स आर देयर. ऑल्सो वी हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड व्हाइल रिसर्चिंग एंड इन मेनी ऑफ द कंपनीज वी ऑलवेज प्ले यू नो पे क्लोज अटेंशन अगर कुछ कॉर्पोरेट एक्शन नहीं हुआ है किसी कंपनी में, ठीक है, और उसके बिना अगर उस कंपनी के नंबर ऑफ शेयर होल्डर्स बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ रहे हैं, ठीक है, that is also a kind of a little negative sign for us, because you know if the stock is very distributed in various hands, so such stocks usually face some difficulties while you know performing in the market.
Anything you want to add, Rahul bhai?
There's nothing, sir. But just this
So
is
I,
only
I
that.
would I would ask one more question which comes to my mind. When you people are investing more in the unlisted segment, so the exit route would mostly be available when the companies get listed. So what you would be thinking before buying the stock about that particular point, because if the listing is not done of that particular company, then the exit becomes very difficult. So anything specific, any take on that?
First of all, sir, whenever we are buying any unlisted company, so we have the thorough due diligence process, in-house due diligence process, that to find out whether the company is ready to move to the or ready to migrate into the IPO sector in the IPO process or not. Secondly, we always go for the companies which are in the process of getting listed in the time frame of 1 or 2 years, within maximum up to 2 years, not beyond that. So, and the third one we consider is that whenever we buy the company, it has to be backed by the fundamentals. The fundamentals should be very strong. So if anything, because we, as I said, that you need to have a margin of safety, room of error, that is what, because elephant in the room can always come or anytime it can come. So you need to have some margin of error. तो आपका हो सकता है कि 10 स्टॉक, जैसे मैंने आप पहले भी बताया था कि यू आर इनटू द बिजनेस ऑफ मनी मैनेजमेंट, एंड मनी मैनेजमेंट में क्या है कि यू हैव द लिबर्टी टू गो रॉन्ग, कि एक बार दो बार आप गलत भी जा सकते हो. इफ यू आर अ साइंटिस्ट और इफ यू आर अ डॉक्टर और अ पायलट, यू कैन नॉट गो रॉन्ग इवन अ सिंगल टाइम. बट मैं पॉसिबल 10 में से आपकी एक बेट ऐसी हो भी सकती है कि जहां पे आपका आईपीओ नहीं आया हो, बट अगर क्या होगा, आपकी कंपनी इज गुड है, आपने कंपनी में अच्छे वैल्यूएशन पे इन्वेस्ट किया है, तो इट मे प्रोबेबली हो सकता है कि कंपनी खुद बाय बैक कर लेगा, या कंपनी ड्यूरिंग द पीरियड ऑफ 2 और 3 और 4 ईयर्स के बाद में उसका आईपीओ आ जाएगा. सो इन्वेस्टमेंट इन अ कंपनी जहां पे मैनेजमेंट इज ओके, रीजनेबल है, मैनेजमेंट इज नॉट is a trustworthy management and the valuation is reasonable, so you will get an exit not possibly by the IPO but maybe by other way around also.
So there has been wonderful discussion so far. आप लोगों से बात करके एक चीज तो समझ में आई कि पैसा बनाना इतना आसान भी नहीं है. There has to be sincere, consistent efforts, good research, disciplined behavior. You have to overcome your greed and fear, both the things, and at the same time you should be as active as possible. पूरी दुनिया में क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा है, वो बोलते हैं ना कि आदमी बड़ा सुखी था पहले, लेकिन जब से उसने शेयर मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट करने का चालू किया, तब से उसके इतने टेंशन बढ़ गए. रशिया और इंडिया लड़े तो भी उसको टेंशन होता है, और रशिया और यूक्रेन लड़े तब भी उसको टेंशन होता है. डोनाल्ड ट्रंप किसी कंट्री पे टैरिफ लगाता है तो भी टेंशन होता है, और कहीं थाईलैंड और चाइना की लड़ाई होती है तब भी उसको टेंशन हो जाती है, वरना उससे पहले तो बड़ा आराम से रह रहा था. But yes, at the same time, I understand that there are lot many experts who have been putting in hard efforts into all such kind of things. So अगर हम लोग सही तरीके से काम करें, इन्फॉर्म्ड डिसीजन लें, सारे पैरामीटर्स को ध्यान में रखते हुए काम करें और डिसिप्लिन और कंसिस्टेंसी के साथ काम करें, तो आई एम श्योर कि हम लोग इसके अंदर पैसा बनाना इतना मुश्किल भी नहीं है. सो आसान नहीं है तो मुश्किल भी नहीं है. अभी किसी को कैंसर होता है तो अगर डॉक्टर को उसको हाथ काटने का डिसीजन लेना पड़ता है तो उसको इमीडिएट डिसीजन लेना पड़ता है, वो उसको बहुत लंबे टाइम तक उसको प्रोलॉन्ग नहीं कर सकता. प्रोकास्टिनेशन ऑलवेज किल्स. और सेम वे इक्विटी के अंदर भी अगर नुकसान हो रहा है तो जैसा जितेश भाई ने बताया कि अगर वो गिर रहा है तो अगर चार्ट और वो सारी चीजों को देखते हुए और फंडामेंटल में चेंजेस है तो शायद अपने स्टॉक के साथ बहुत सारा अटैचमेंट रखे बिना उसको काटना ही शायद फायदे का सौदा होता है, और वही एक अच्छा इन्फॉर्म्ड इन्वेस्टर वो डिसीजन शायद ले सकता है. अब अगर क्वेश्चंस कुछ आए हैं तो हम लोग वो लेना चाहेंगे, बट बिफोर दैट I take a liberty knowing all these gentlemen. If there is any question with respect to AIF today or tomorrow or any point of time, or with respect to equity or with respect to investment, you can always reach them as a friend, not as a professional. As a friend, you can always reach them, and I'm sure that they'll definitely get back to you on those things. If they are busy, maybe they'll get back to you sometime later, but for sure they'll get back to you. This is what I can say on behalf of all of you. I hope whatever I've said is you all are okay with.
Yes, certainly,
Yes,
sir.
yes, definitely.
Anytime. We are here for our profession.
Thank you. So
Sir,
Virat bhai,
one more thing which I want to
yeah,
correct what I mentioned about SIF, so Special Investment Fund. I mentioned I think 10 crores. It's a 10 lakh, minimum 10 lakh amount of. So I want
yes,
to correct that. Now we can start
Virat
with
sir.
question. There are questions from people, so we can start with that.
So over to you, Virat bhai. You can take the questions, please.
Yes, yes. So I think Jitesh bhai or uh, sorry, Rahul bhai or Nimish bhai, can anyone take?
Yes. So Vineet is asking about are mutual funds and SIF better than PMS and AIF? So Rahul bhai, you are on mute.
Once. So I think we have already covered this is in very detail. What are the differences in the mutual fund, AIF, PMS, and
Yes.
SIF?
And I think
So
it's
again,
also depend on
so
investor
again,
to investor.
So again, that is on depend upon your risk appetite, your investment origin, your investment amount, your requirements, and what kind of investor you are. Whether you are into a particular mode, that is SIP, whether your cash flows are more like on the monthly basis, so you go for with the SIP. So each and every matlab, it is not a customized or tailor made that ki for this set of investor this is good, for this set of investment this is good. It has to be look look into the specific criteria and the requirement of each and every investor. And one more thing जो AIF के बारे में भी किसी ने पूछा है, so I will give the answer that कि यहाँ पे जो 1 करोड़ का जो commitment amount होता है, that is the 1 crore is the minimum commitment amount. So it whether it has to be paid upfront or it can be on the basis of calls, तो it depend upon the AIF to AIF. कोई AIF जो होगा वो आपको upfront amount of 1 crore rupees demand करेगा. देन में पॉसिबिलिटी की कोई एएफ्स होंगे जहां पे आपका 1 करोड़ का कमिटमेंट होगा और देयर कैन बी द डिफरेंट कॉल्स एज एंड व्हेन द रिक्वायरमेंट अराइज. सो इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट कि आपको हर एएफ में 1 करोड़ रुपीस जो है वो अपफ्रंट ही इन्वेस्ट करना होगा.
Another question
So
is what is Gift City and how does it work?
we covered right now only. Yes.
Yes, I think most of the questions are answered already. AIFs historically कैसे perform किए हैं versus traditional investments. So I think it's depend on the AIF to AIF and investment to investment. कि यार कौन से mutual fund है? There are tons of mutual fund schemes. There are tons of AIFs, so we can't compare likewise. I think it's a institutionalized approach to investing, where HNIs and ultra HNIs can invest via a route where they can institutionalize their investing style and also diversify at the same time. Uh, Apart from that,
But
I
then
think
Nimish bhai,
questions are all done.
Nimish bhai, what we have seen is in many of the mutual funds we have seen they have delivered the returns as good as from 12 to 15% to 25% to also. And in many AIFs we have seen that the return that has ranged from 10, 12, 15%. Even we have seen continuous 5 years, 6 years CAGR of 40, 50% as well.
Yes.
So yes, these things are possible, but you rightly said that what is the risk appetite of the person? It depends upon so many factors. It cannot work like that. Other things remaining constant, where we say in economics, ceteris paribus. So
Yes.
here the things will keep on changing with the parameters that keeps on changing. But yes, certainly depending upon the risk appetite, yes, certainly good returns can be generated through these instruments.
Sir, also there are a lot of things which help AIFs, जैसा कि वो जितेश भाई, राहुल भाई और अपन सबने डिस्कस भी किया कि यार एंकर इन्वेस्टमेंट इज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी एज वेल एज प्री आईपीओ और ये सब जो चीजें हैं, आप एक इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे आप एक कंपनी में 50 लाख डाल दोगे एंड आपका अगर नेटवर्थ 10 करोड़ का है, सो यू आर एक्सपोजिंग योर सेल्फ टू 5% एंड दैट इज वेरी बिग ऑन योर साइड. सो एआईएफ क्या है कि यार एआईएफ इज गिविंग यू एन अपॉर्चुनिटी कि यार आप 10 कंपनीज में एक साथ डाल सकते हो और आपके रिस्क को डाइवर्सिफाई कर सकते हो इन अनलिस्टेड स्पेस आल्सो. सो एआईएफ इज नॉट जस्ट कि यार भाई 1 करोड़ ही देना है, 1 करोड़ देना है, बट इट विल आल्सो गिविंग यू एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू बी पार्ट ऑफ इंडियाज, इंडिया की जैसे जैसे आज हमारा 50 करोड़ का फंड है, तो वी कैन इन्वेस्ट 15 टू 20 कंपनीज. तो यार आप डायरेक्ट 15 टू 20 कंपनीज से डायरेक्ट एक्सपोज हो जाते हो, जहां पर आप यू कैन बी पार्ट ऑफ ऑल दीज ग्रोथ जर्नी, जहां पर वो ग्रो हो रहे हैं. लाइक जनरली वी इन्वेस्ट इन कैटेगरी 1 और कैटेगरी 2 फंड्स में. अगर हम बात करें तो हम जनरली वहां इन्वेस्ट करते हैं जहां पर कंपनीज अभी एट अ वेरी नेशन स्टेज. जैसे अगर हम आज बात करते हैं तो यार आई वाज करंटली डिस्कसिंग विद राहुल भाई कि यार एक कंपनी है डिफेंस की, वहां पर उनको अभी जस्ट एक प्रोटोटाइप का अप्रूवल मिला है एंड दे आर नाउ रेजिंग फंड्स. सो कहीं कहीं पे क्या होता है कि देयर आर लॉट ऑफ बिग अपॉर्चुनिटीज आर देयर, जो एक बिल्कुल एक नेशन स्टेज से स्टार्ट होती है. बट क्या है कि यार आप इंडिविजुअली वहां पर पार्ट प्ले नहीं कर सकते हो, बट विद द एआईएफ, विद द हेल्प ऑफ एआईएफ, यू कैन बी अ स्मॉलर पार्ट ऑफ दैट बिगर अपॉर्चुनिटी. सो आई थिंक this is one thing. I think there is one more question which is coming, where we can study about AIFs, any platform or website. I think the best website is NISM. So if you want to be a fund manager, so you can go to NISM website. There is XIXC examination. You need to clear that examination to be a fund manager in that, and that curriculum covers everything about AIF, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स इन्वेस्टमेंट इन एआईएफ, और वो सब आपको जो भी उसको अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए चाहिए, यू कैन गो एंड चेक दैट वेबसाइट आउट. इट्स फ्रीली अवेलेबल. इफ यू वांट टू give the exam, it just you need to study that, and whenever you want to give the exam, you can just go and fill the form and it's done. How will be the gains from different AIF taxed in the hands of investors?
I think we discussed
Anyone?
this earlier. So
Yeah.
In CAT 1 and 2, they enjoy the benefit of pass-through structure. So everything is taxed in the hands of the investor. तो आपकी जो NAV होती है उसके अंदर टैक्स एडजस्टेड नहीं होता है. Whereas on the other hand, CAT 3 फंड के अंदर जो आपकी NAV होती है उसमें टैक्सेशन ऑलरेडी एडजस्टेड होता है, ठीक है, एंड it has been taxed at the fund level and exposing you to the very high chances of this thing. What we say surcharge, which is not there in the case, which might and might not be there in the case of CAT 1 or CAT 2.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, one question is, an investor having 7 crores, how one should look at various investment option considering limited capital at the beginning?
So I think it is a very personal choice. I would say, what are your goals? What is the risk appetite? That defines, that plays a very vital role, because I've seen people with let's say 10 crores of capital putting 8 crores into AIF, and then I've seen people having capital of 100 crores and putting 5 crores in AIF. So I think this is very very personal question, or maybe a personal choice. What defines and what is the most important is, wherever we are putting money, we should be aware about the entire ecosystem or the entire functioning of the people on whom we are betting. Because मेरे को लगता है सबसे important वो है कि हम जहाँ पे पैसा लगा रहे हैं, जिस भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट में लगा रहे हैं, चाहे वो म्यूचुअल फंड हो, चाहे वो एआईएफ हो, ठीक है, हमें उसके बारे में पता पूरा होना चाहिए कि कौन लोग हैं, फंड मैनेजर कौन है, कौन कौन इनकी अप्रोच क्या है, ये लोग काम कैसे करते हैं, इंटीग्रिटी वाइज कितने स्ट्रांग है, पास्ट परफॉर्मेंस क्या है। तो वो सारी चीजें थोड़ी बहुत हेल्प करती है। बाकी अदरवाइज आई वुड से इट इज अ लिटिल सब्जेक्टिव and it depends upon the risk appetite also of a particular person and the time horizon, how long you're looking to stay invested.
Uh, Thank you so much. Now Yash is asking, what are the services an AIF needs from a CA, maybe on a regular basis or on a periodical basis? So I would like to answer that question. Uh, First, there are two things. One, on the due diligence side, कि यार if we are putting you know a big chunk from our AIF और कहीं पे भी हम invest कर रहे हैं, so a due diligence report really helps a fund manager, not just to us, to other funds also. So there are a lot of due diligence which is going on in the unlisted company side. जो बहुत सारे कैटेगरी 1, 2 और कैटेगरी 3 फंड मैनेजर्स करवाते हैं, चाहे वो सीए हो, सीएफए हो, बट बहुत सारी चीजें आउटसोर्स होती है जो एक सीए कर सकता है। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, ऑडिट नीड्स टू बी डन फॉर ऑल द फंड्स, कैटेगरी 1, 2 या 3 हो, कोई भी हो, सो a CA can help that there also. Apart from that, Rahul bhai, Jitesh bhai, is there anything you want to add? So
So
CA
the
help कर सकता है।
audit, so audit also, there are two types of the audit, that is PPM audit as well as the AIF audit, that is fund audit. So दोनों audits के अंदर कर सकते हैं. At the same time, there is one more scope of the registered valuer. अगर CA अगर registered valuer है, then whatever the investment the AIF has done in the unlisted side, it has to be valued periodically. तो वहाँ पे registered valuer की जरूरत पड़ती है. And if the CA is the registered valuer, then that function can also be performed by them.
Got it. Got it. So, one more question from Shripad Vaidya. Is there a public data available for AIF performance? If not, how do investors get better information similar to mutual fund industry? So, as far as I understand, there is PMS World, there is a website where you can go and check out, but there is no legal requirement to share the return or performance data for the AIFs. So बहुत सारी हम हमारे को सेबी को देना पड़ता है डेटा, बट इट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू गिव सम अदर एजेंसी टू शोकेस द परफॉर्मेंस एंड अदर थिंग्स. And for AIF, for different AIF, you can go and check out the website of SEBI. वहाँ पर all the registered AIF you can go and check out.
But sometimes, these data may not be very accurate. Reason being, the AIF taking exposure in the unlisted space. So वो जो NAV कैलकुलेशन होता है वो काफी बार, जैसा राहुल जी ने अभी कवर किया था, कि वो पीरियोडिक होता है, तो वो नॉट नेसेसरी जो डेटा रेप्लिकेट कर रहा होगा और जो डेटा शो कर रहा होगा 100% एक्यूरेट हो ऐसे.
So very true. मतलब accuracy in the sense जो है कि that, for example, any AIF जो category 1 है, they have made the pre-IPO investment, that is before the IPOs. Okay, और so वो regularly RV से valuation करवाते हैं, but the RV valuation will not be the same valuation at which it is going to be the listed. So वहाँ पे क्या होगा, आपको 1 year 2 year के लेग के अंदर आपको परफॉर्मेंस दिखेगा. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर कोई कंपनी में हमने 1000 करोड़ के वैल्यूएशन पे इन्वेस्ट किया है एंड द आईपीओ इज कमिंग आफ्टर 1 year एट द 2200 करोड़ वैल्यूएशन बेसिस ऑफ द परफॉर्मेंस, बिकॉज प्राइवेट मार्केट और पब्लिक मार्केट में दोनों में वैल्यूएशन डिफर होता है. अगर प्राइवेट में 10 टाइम्स प्राइस टू अर्निंग मिल रहा है तो मैं पॉसिबल कि पब्लिक मार्केट में 15 से 20 टाइम्स प्राइस टू अर्निंग मिलेगा. सो इन केस इफ इट इज कैटेगरी 3 एआईएफ, जहां पे मेजरली जो डीलिंग है वो किसमें हो रही है, लिस्टेड स्पेस में हो रही है, तो वहां पे आपको एनएवी मोर करेक्ट दिखेगी, मोर पर्टिकुलर दिखेगी. बट इफ इट इज कैटेगरी 1 और 2 है तो वहां पे लेग से इफेक्ट आएगा, तो यू नीड टू वेट फॉर द 1 or 2 years to get the exact data.
I think we are done with the questions. So again, thank you so much, Virag bhai and Vikas bhai. Virag bhai for organizing this for us to help, which help other CAs as well, or other participant as well, for to understand the AIF, the structure, and Vikas bhai for moderating the session, because हम हम जनरली बात करते रहते हैं, बट वी ऑल्सो थिंक कि यार किस तरीके से हम इस नॉलेज को शेयर कर सकें. सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर प्रोवाइडिंग द अपॉर्चुनिटी. थैंक यू.
Thank you
So
all. I would like
we
to
must thank
request
actually we must thank
audience.
Virag Bhai. He has been doing such a wonderful service for the last 5 6 years, and that too selflessly. I've seen him working for the fraternity, I would say, and he is doing a wonderful job to get the people online to without having any platform, official platform, just like institute or something, some recognize this body, and still drawing thousands of people on his channel to watch this and knowledge dissemination. This is something great. Kudos to Virag Bhai, and I would say clap. Let us clap for him.
I would
Thank you,
like to
Vikas.
add on while we were organizing this with the discussions with Virag Bhai. So both are 24/7. So he is there for 24/7. I mean, continuously how to make it better or पूरा discussion में continuously involved थे. I mean, selflessly, I've rarely seen such people who are working so selflessly for the benefit of others. So that is something really amazing and mind blowing at Virag Bhai's end.
Thank you, Jitesh Bhai. First, I would like to request each and everyone to connect all the panelists and our moderator Vikas Bhai, in particularly to connect on LinkedIn. The session may be of our 2 hours only, but our association has to be a long-term association, and LinkedIn is a better platform as we all are professional, and it's a world's largest professional network on LinkedIn. So would like to request everyone to connect with all the panelists and our moderator Vikas Bhai, Jitesh Bhai, Rahul Bhai, Nimish Bhai, to all on LinkedIn. And whenever you have any query regarding AIF or any other query regarding the profession, you can connect with Vikas Bhai and also all the other panelists. They will very helpful and they will connect with the right person as well if they are not able to help. On AIF topic, obviously they will able to help, but on any other topic relating to our profession, they will able to connect with you the right person who can help you or who can suggest you or can advise or whatever kind of help you required or support required. So please connect with them on LinkedIn. And also if any presentation will be there or any brochure will be there, we'll send in a follow-up mail. There are few questions for myself as well as an organizer, whether recording will be available. Yes, we'll try to provide the recording in the follow-up mail, but yes, it is also available on YouTube, so you can watch if any part of the session is missed, because I have seen that many people has joined later also. And let me just tell you that we have more than 350 people has registered and taken the benefit of this. If I would like to say exact number, it's a 356, and few people on YouTube also joined without registration as well. So we'll send the mail to everyone. A follow-up mail will go from system itself, along with the details of our panelist and the moderator, and also the YouTube recording as well. So with this, we are concluding our today's session. Thank you once again, all the panelists, Vikas Bhai, Rahul Bhai, Jitesh Bhai, Nimish Bhai, for the amazing evening. So much knowledge we gain on wealth creation through AIF. So amazing session and a great topic, and you all are expert and you shared this knowledge with everyone. So kudos to you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you
Viraj.
so much,
Thank you.
Virag Bhai. Thank you so much, Vikas Bhai.
So with this, we are concluding our
Thank you,
today's
friends.
session.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much.